up? This is Anthony Edwards, and Minnesota Timberwolves basketball starts now.
Set up Julius Randle, posting up on SGA, backs him down, kicks out to Ant, left side. He'll drive in, up and over SGA, and he avoided the block attempt by Chet Holmgren. What a finish for Ant.
Tonight, the series shifts to Target Center for Game 3 against the Thunder. Wolves Playoff Basketball is brought to you by U.S. Bank, the official bank of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. By Marvin, windows and doors custom crafted for your vision. By Treasure Island Resort and Casino, the exclusive casino partner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And by Sezzle, the official jersey patch partner of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Buy now, pay later, with no interest on all of your Wolves gear. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply. Now, let's head live to the arena. Alongside analyst Jim Peterson, here's the voice of the Timberwolves, Alan Horton.
The first two games of this Western Conference Finals have played out similarly. They've each seen tightly contested first halves, only to turn into 20-point Thunder leads in second halves, thanks to dominant third quarters from Oklahoma City. They've outscored the Wolves in both of them by 14 points each. Thunder have also dominated the three-point line, holding the Wolves to just 29% in each of the first two games. OKC's had the edge in turnovers as they forced an average of 17 a game for 27 points. OKC's had the edge in transition, 28-9. They're outscoring the Wolves in the paint by an average of 24 points per game. A lot of things going against the Wolves in the first two games. I asked head coach Chris Finch what has stood out the most in his eyes being down 0-2.
Just a couple of 4 to 5 minute stretches in the third quarter. That's really been it. Both games have been somewhat of a carbon copy. There's been 96 minutes played in this series. If you take out the last 2 minutes of game one where we cleared the bench, through 81 minutes we're at +9, and we've just had two stints where we've just kind of got a haymaker, and that's how they play. You know, all credit to them. They just doing what they do. We have to be better against that. We got to respond a little quicker. We got to stop the bleeding a little earlier, and we just haven't been able to do that. And against a team who plays such great defense, it's hard to come back when you do get down that deficit.
Yeah, it has been those third quarters that have really done the Wolves in. That 17-2 run that the Thunder had mid-third quarter in game one, 20-5 the run, or 20-6 the run in another third quarter of game two. Timberwolves find themselves down 0-2. The last 8 teams to come back from 0-2. Actually, there's been 8 teams in the last 8 years that have come back from an 0-2 series deficit, an average of 1 per year. Nobody has done it in the NBA this season. The Wolves will try to become the first. Timberwolves and Thunder, it's game 2 of the Western Conference Finals. We tip things off with our national anthem.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A packed house here in downtown Minneapolis. Target Center, the venue for Game 3 tonight of the Western Conference Finals. The Thunder lead the Timberwolves 2-0. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton. Our studio host and executive producer is Cal Soderquist. Our engineer is Mike Weber. Our statistician, Super Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. Our studio coordinators, Alex Leibolt and Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship, 100.3 FM, KFAN, The Fan, and all across the Timberwolves radio network, Sirius XM, NBA radio channel 86, along with the Timberwolves mobile app and the NBA app as well. Let's get right to the starting lineups. First for the visiting Thunder, who are 3-2 on the road in this postseason. They finished the regular season with the second-best road mark in the NBA, 32-8. They finished the regular season winning 14 of their final 15 road games. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has scored 30 or more in 9 of the last 11 postseason games he's scored. He's averaging 35 points in this series to go along with 9 assists and 3 steals. When he's been on the floor in 79 minutes, the Thunder have outscored the Wolves by 47 points. Lou Dort joins him in the backcourt, a modest 7 points, 5 rebounds, couple of assists per game, named first team all defense for his efforts in the regular season. Jalen Williams is the small forward, 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, a hefty 3 steals, a well-rounded game over the first 2 games for the Thunder. Chet Holmgren, the Minneapolis native, comes home for his first playoff game. Second season out of Gonzaga, 19.6 boards, 3 assists, and a block per. The big man in the middle, Isaiah Hartenstein, who's not the biggest man on his own team. Chet Holmgren's 7'1", but Isaiah Hartenstein has got that wider frame. Chet will eventually grow into being a starting center, but for now, Hartenstein, he's the new addition along with Alex Caruso, who comes off the bench. Those 2 additions have pushed the Thunder to this 68-14 regular season mark, more wins than any team in the regular season this season. So Mark Daigneault has Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Lou Dort, Jalen Williams, Chet Holmgren, and Isaiah Hartenstein rounding out his starting 5. And before the game, Daigneault spoke about expecting a different Wolves team playing at a different level here for Game 3.
The games are never a continuation of the previous game. Tonight's a brand new night. It's a brand new game. They'll change some things, I'm sure. We'll change some things. And the game's going to have its own life. And so we're not trying to carry anything over. We're trying to take the lessons, but be very present in tonight's competition, understanding that, like I said, tonight's a completely new chapter in the series.
Mark Daigneault's in his 5th season as head coach in OKC. He's got a 16-7 postseason record. He is 3-1 in postseason series. The only injury, which is not even of note for the Thunder, Nikola Topic, their rookie, 6'6" rookie, has not played in a single game this season. He is out due to left knee surgery. Starting lineup for the Timberwolves should sound familiar. Chris Finch has gone with it and used it in every single postseason game this season.
Hey, this is head coach Chris Finch, and here's our starting lineup for tonight. At guard,
Mike Conley, Ohio State.
Paint to Conley in the corner, catch and shoot. 3 is good. Mike Conley picks up 5 time. First, third, 3 of the night.
at guard,
Anthony Edwards, University of Georgia.
Against Watson, he'll pull up, deep 2 on the way. He hits it. He's him, Anthony Edwards.
at forward,
Jay McDaniels, University of Washington.
Here's Jaden. He'll take a run to the bucket. His layup is good, and he got fouled. I don't believe it.
at forward,
Julius Randle, Kentucky.
Spin move in the lane. No look inside. Julius with a 2-handed flush. Oh, the Wolves bench is beside themselves.
at center,
Rudy Gobert, Saint-Quentin, France.
Rudy with an offensive rebound. He goes baseline. Oh, reverse slam. He packs it through. Fantastic finish by Rudy Gobert. So the Wolves starting lineup has gone 8-4 in the postseason. They've been a +6 in the 18 minutes they've played together over the first 2 games, but Julius Randle coming off his poorest outing of the postseason. No injuries to report for head coach Chris Finch's squad, and I asked him on the tip-off show about, well, how quickly he'd be willing to change when that comes to lineups, that comes to rotations, going deeper on the bench. Here's what he had to say.
Well, I think you got to be ready to try new things, but I don't think you can radicalize what you're doing. I mean, you're good at what you're good at because for a reason, and you got there doing those things, and I think it's important that you do that. And I think some of what you're going to see tonight is a return to who we think we are. And it's not that we felt we over game planned, but we might have missed a few things along the way, worrying about some of the wrong things. That didn't allow us. us maybe to play to our strengths, or we assumed that we would be able to do certain things. And and we just hadn't been able to do them as well as possible.
So getting back to basics, we bring in Jim Peterson for his thoughts before tonight's game. You read anything into those comments from Chris Finch? Maybe overanalyzing things too much over those first two games.
It sounds like he's not going to go deeper into his bench because
no, it doesn't. The radically changing what he's done. That's not the group that got him here.
The group that got him here is the 8, and so it sounds like he's going to go with the 8, and this is why Chris Finch is so great as a coach, is because he sticks to what he knows works for himself. He's boiled basketball down to its essentials, and he knows what's important, and so consistency is important, and he's going to go with his veteran guys, and so let's see how that matches up.
It doesn't mean he's not afraid to do it, but I think he thinks when he's around this team, he knows what buttons to press, and he 100%. Thinks this is the best option to try to get back in this series. Timberwolves come out in their icon midnight navy uniform, tops and bottoms with the lake blue and frost white trim. The Thunder in the Association Whites. Opening tip tonight will be tossed up by the crew chief, John Goebel. He's flanked by Josh Tiven on one side and Curtis Blair on the other. Game 3 here at Target Center. The opening tip goes to the Thunder, and Jalen Williams will bring it up right to left. Hartenstein gets a touch right back to Williams, who's guarded by Anthony Edwards. Wing right, here's Chet Holmgren, run off the three-point line. He'll lob it inside. Hartenstein throws it down for 2. That was a rather easy bucket between the two big men, 2-0. OKC on top.
I mean, those empty side pick and rolls are tailor-made for just what happened right there, sending Rudy into coverage, which left Hartenstein open.
Here's Ant drifting left off a staggered screen, fires on the 3. He missed it. The rebound saved by Hartenstein. And Chet Holmgren able to get it off to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And now 1 for his last 10 from beyond the arc. Shai probes left side, is matched up against McDaniels. The boos rain down from Target Center. In the paint, flashing free. Hartenstein, push shot from the dotted line. He sinks it with that left hand. 4-0. OKC on top. Nicely timed cut by Hartenstein. And Shai shows that he's a willing passer. He would rather score. But boy, if you get open for him, he'll set you up. Mike sets up Rudy inside. He dove to the rim and got stripped on the way up. Thunder come back with it. It's Hartenstein in the paint. Now to the corner. Jalen Williams catches 2-3 offline, and Ants got their rebound. Bulls force the first Thunder miss at the offensive end. They'll bring it up from left to right. Quick crossover by Randall. Spins on Jalen Williams. He'll fade on the 14-footer and swish it. Randall's back.
Getting Randall back into doing Randall things. Getting it up the floor, handling the basketball, creating a shot for himself.
Only 6 points on 2 of 11 shooting in game 2. Shai out to Jalen Williams. Now Hartenstein with a touch up top. Wants to feed it. Williams is on the cut down the lane. Swings it over his shoulder to Dort. The 3-ball on the way is good, but wave it off. Lou Dort, one of his big fat feet, stepped on the sideline. That's a turnover.
Rudy's got to be more active defensively here for Minnesota and have more awareness. He's just so dropped right now, and he's not been active. The Hartenstein basket, when he cut into the paint, Rudy's got to be aware of that and be more active and anticipate that cut by him. Offensively, he's got to score.
Yeah, Rudy's only averaged 26 minutes a game, 4 points, 6 rebounds, 1 block. Not as impactful as head coach Chris Finch would like. Randall, showing some range on that fall away along the baseline, and he strokes it. Nothing but net on his first 2 shots. Chris Finch and Julius Randle had a conversation and shoot around today. We'll play you that soundbite coming up. We told you on the tip-off show. Randall collects the rebound as Dort misses the left wing 3. Here comes Minnesota, tied up at 4. Randall up in the front court against Jalen Williams. Around his back, top of the key. Gets 1 foot in the paint. Now lost the dribble. Steps through. Now fades from the top of the key, and it comes up short. Rebound. Dort lets it go out of bounds. It'll be Oklahoma City basketball.
Is there such a thing as too much of a good thing? I think you're going to the well a little bit too often that time. No one else has touched the basketball for these last 3 possessions besides Julius.
I think there is, actually. I think of food, too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Here's Ant forcing a turnover. Now drives on Williams, runs it up off glass and hit it. That's a tough shot from Whale outside the lane. He thought he got fouled, but he gets the jump shot to go. 6-0 Minnesota on top. Jalen Williams with it up top. 23 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 steals per. Here's Shai averaging 35 in the series. One-on-one against McDaniels. Pump fakes at the elbow. Back out to Williams. Moves on. Ant lost the ball. Got it back. Feeds Chet right side. He's got to rush up a 3 at the buzzer and missed it long.
Great box out by Mike on Dort that time, too.
Here's McDaniels on the move. Stops on Shai. Crosses him up. Hesitates. Now rises and sinks it. How about that from Jaden McDaniels? 8-4 Timberwolves doubling up the Thunder. They've scored 8 straight. They've finally woken up and gotten into the game. Here's Shea, left side, Holmgren against his own defense. The three ball is good. Shea only knocked down 1 to 3. In game 2, he was 1 of 6 from long range. Here's Mike. They'll fire on a left wing 3. That's offline, and Isaiah Hartenstein's got the rebound. 8-7 Minnesota by 1. Here come the Thunder from right to left. Jalen Williams just dribbles right into a straightaway 3. Missed it long. The Wolves are fortunate there. Conley the rebound, and the front court to the right wing. Drops it back for Ant, right back to Mike. 2-on-1 over there in the corner. Now they feed Randall. Catch and shoot 3 on the way. It's going to be long. And the rebound to Jalen Williams. 4 gone, 8 left to play. Opening quarter. Timberwolves by 1. Lou Dort, right back to another headbanded Thunder player. It's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He's hit 1-3 in the series. Dribbles to the top of the key, tried to feed Hartenstein, who fumbled it, and then knocked it out of bounds.
Mike did a great job of coming off the corner that time. He was guarding Lou Dort in that right corner. Left Lou Dort and got his hand in there, kind of wrestled away from Hartenstein. Hartenstein just slung it out of bounds.
Hartenstein's a guy who's committed a lot of fouls, and I feel like you can turn him over. And open left side. Catch and shoot 3 is there. What a screen by Rudy. He set that one, and Lou Dort ran right into him. Dort couldn't get out and contest that triple. It's 11-7. Here's Hartenstein. Free throw line. Shot no. The rebound all the way out to midcourt. Into the front court. And tracks it down. He's alone to the rim. Look out below. Elevate and detonate. 13-7, and Target Center is rocking and rolling.
Minnesota's getting all the 50-50 balls right now. Allen's 13-3 run for Minnesota.
Here's Shea off the Hartenstein screen. Works right by Rudy to the rim and got it to go for 2. A burst of speed from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. His first 2 points of the night. Conley up into the forecourt. Out of hand up top. Jukes off of Rudy's screen to his left. Bounces it back to the mid man who rolls in for the layup. Missed it over Chet. And the Thunder have the rebound. Gilgeous-Alexander to his right. Williams shuffles into Dort in the corner. Back to Williams at the angle. J-Dub down to Dort. Down low. Holmgren along the baseline. Mike just shoving him towards the baseline. Out it comes to SGA, who pump fakes Rudy. Gets to the rim. Missed the layup. And the Wolves collect the rebound. Here's Randall cross court. Wolves with a brief 5-on-4 advantage here. They could not take advantage. Here's Randall working against Shea. Quickly backs him down in the paint. Spins, got it knocked away, got it back. He's surrounded by 3 players. Kick out, Mike open, straightaway 3 offline. Rebound, Rudy battling, and he's got it. And a whistle stops play, a loose ball foul against the Thunder. Timeout on the floor. The under 7-minute break comes with 6:14 left to go in the opening quarter. It's Minnesota 13. It's Oklahoma City 9 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Yeah. Hey, look, a W is a W. And thanks to our FVP batteries in the lineup, we're playing up to our potential. I mean, you saw it out there today. What I'm loving about this FVP battery right now is the consistency. Day in, day out. I mean, no drama. Great work ethic with tremendous upside. I said this before. You gotta be a self-starter in this league. That's why FVP is my MVP. Automotive batteries from FVPparts.com. You gotta reach for what works.
Next question.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVPs since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
Hey Wolves fans, listen up. Step up your shoe game this season with Trade Home Shoes, your Minnesota-based employee-owned retailer. Trade Home Shoes has on-trend footwear for the entire family. Brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival Shoes, and more. With over a century of experience in 130 locations nationwide, Trade Home Shoes is where generations meet comfort and style. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Julius Randle in 5.5 minutes, 4 points on 2 of 4 shooting, coming off his most disappointing game of the postseason, something I asked head coach Chris Finch about on the tip-off show.
And Julius had a good game one, and, had really his first subpar game of the postseason the other night. So these guys are important to who we are, and we're not just going to abandon that. We had a conversation today. Him not playing in the fourth is just the same as Rudy not playing in the fourth of the game before. Like, we got to try something at that point in time. And at that point, he was not happy they didn't play in the fourth, but he understood why we did it, and we're moving on and fully expect him to have a great game tonight.
Off to a good start for Julius Randle. Off to a good start for the Wolves with the best run was a 13-3 burst that took the Wolves from down 4 to up 6, and they're finally starting to win some of the battles we've seen Oklahoma City dominate in the first 2 games.
Yeah, points off turnovers, for instance. I mean, they forced 3 turnovers. Minnesota's yet to turn it over, but they have 7 points off of those 3 Oklahoma City turnovers, Alan. And then, finally getting some fast break points as well, the points in the paint.
The Wolves had 9 fast break points combined in the first 2 games. They got 4 in the opening 5.5 minutes here.
So, active defensively. Got to keep driving that field goal percentage down. Right now, just 1 of 5 from outside the arc for Oklahoma City, 4 of 10 in the game. So keep driving that field goal percentage down, though. See if they can keep and stay aggressive on Shea.
Mike out, Dante in. DiVincenzo checks in. Dante has struggled mightily in this series. Up top, it's Edwards, a catch-and-shoot 3. Right off the inbound, he knocks it down. Ant's off to a good start. He's 4 of 5 shooting. He's got 10 points in the opening 6 minutes of this game. Here's Ant jumping on Dort, knocking the ball free. It's a breakaway for Ant. He'll softly lay this one up and in with 2 hands. And he's now got a dozen. That's the 4th turnover the Wolves have forced. They've turned those into 9 points off of turnovers.
Ant has been super aggressive defensively, getting up in coverage. One of the reasons why they've turned him over 4 times.
Absolutely. It was like a missile just bursting up there on Dort. Timed it perfectly. Missed shot by Dort, top of the key, and the Wolves come away with the rebound. Here's Ant circling off the Rudy screen. Bounced it back to Rudy. He couldn't catch it because he got tripped up. And they'll get Lou Dort on the foul. He's prone to some foul difficulty.
Well, look, in high ball screen, if Ant can come off that screen, they're playing drop coverage too, by the way. So the big who's in coverage is back. And if Ant can knock down that 3 at the top of the circle, Alan, that's going to force them up into coverage. So when Rudy rolls, they're going to have to make decisions. So that's the key of Ant being able to knock down shots, and really everybody, Dante, Nikhil, the ball screen action, if they can knock those shots down, they're going to have to come up in coverage.
Because OKC in the first 2 games has dominated their pick and roll numbers, their drive numbers, their ISO numbers. They've been the better team with up and down the lineup of play types. Here's Randle with it up top, working against Cason Wallace, who's into the game. A drive by Randle, defense collapses out to Dante. Corner 3 on the way is good. Dante tickles the twine from the corner opposite the Thunder bench. Mark Daigneault needs another timeout. It's a 21-5 run over the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Timberwolves up by a dozen, their first double-digit lead of the series on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's Protein Snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned and hardwood smoked to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner.
Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
And Toyota brings us this look at the other matchup happening in the NBA's conference finals. Visit your local Toyota dealers today online at toyota.com. Let's go places. Game 2 between the Knicks and Pacers took place last night at the Garden, and New York with a chance to salvage a split of those first 2 games. They were all knotted up after the first 3 quarters, but then the Pacers found a fifth gear, outscored the Knicks by 5. and escaped with a 5-point win. Now a 2-0 lead in the series, with things shifting to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for tomorrow night's Game 3. Pascal Siakam had a playoff career-high 39 on 15 of 23 from the field, and was quick after the victory to shift focus to that Game 3 tomorrow.
I think for us, we focus on ourselves, man. We have a long way to go, and it's only going to get tougher for us, and I think we just got to continue to, stick to the plan. We worried about one game, like we're not really thinking ahead. Like we focus on Game 3 at home. Can't wait to get back to our fans. Like they itching to to have us out there, and I know it's going to be crazy. We can't wait to play in front of them. That's our focus, to be honest. Game 3.
Yeah, Game 3 tomorrow night from Indy. Tip-off just after 7 o'clock. Back to Alan and Jim.
5:11 left to go here in the first quarter of play. On an 8-0 run, it's a part of an 18-5 burst. And that 8-0 run has started since Dante DiVincenzo checked in. 18-5, Timberwolves lead by 12. And Anthony Edwards is pacing away. He's got a dozen on 5 of 6 shooting. He's 3 of 3 shooting in the paint. He's always enjoyed playing Chris Finch's offense.
Freedom he gives us. As long as you play defense, he'll let you do anything offensively. So, yeah, pretty much. Like, as long as we guard at a high level, because that's what we hang our hats on, defense, the defensive end. So, as long as we get stops, it don't really matter what shots we get, because we know we're going to get stops down there. So, we'll be all right.
Anthony Edwards declined to talk to the media after Game 2, has come out and put up 12 points in the opening 6.5 minutes of this game. The 12 points are his most in a first quarter this postseason. His career high for a first quarter is 18. And Dante is picking up Cason Wallace full court coming up the floor. Now he backs off a bit, but just even a little pressure like that takes 2 or 3 seconds off the clock, and it expends energy for the Thunder. Now Jalen Williams with it. On the right side, here's Cason Wallace, gets around Ant, allows it up to the rim. Hartenstein offline on the dunk attempt. He got knocked by Naz Reid, who was defending. Wolves collect the rebound. They bring it up left to right. Ant against Caruso into the game. Off the Naz screen, Ant with it, one-on-one. Cason Wallace, the defender. Now Naz Reid hunting for his first 3 of the series. Tries to dribble on Alex Caruso. Got it knocked away, but Caruso picks up the foul.
Chris Finch going back to, and you and I were talking about the Naz Reid, Julius Randle minutes in this series. Chris Finch sticking with what he knows works, because it's been great through the other series that Minnesota's played against the Lakers and Golden State. Those two have played very well together.
Dante triggers in. Jaden gives it right back. Dante moves up top. He was a minus 27 in Game 2. Ant with it off the Randall screen. Back to Julius. Thought about the 3. His defender falls down. He fires on the triple. Missed it left. The rebound comes right. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander collects. He's averaging 4 rebounds a game to go along with the 9 assists, the 35 points. He ups with McDaniels. Fades baseline. Missed the shot. Ant's got the rebound. SGA 1 of 4 shooting to start this game. He scored 30 or more in 9 of his last 11 postseason games. Ant off the Naz screen again. He switched on to Hartenstein. Crosses him up, sees a second defender. Now Ant drifts back up top. Left-handed dribble. Still with it against Hartenstein. Now pivots and gives it off to Naz. Left side 3 on the way. Drops in for Naz. Finally, after missing his first 12 three-point attempts, Naz Reid is on the board. 24-9. Timberwolves by 15. SGA staggered screen to the right side against Randall. Stops at the elbow, drops it back out. Here's Jalen Williams, known as J-Dub. Up top against Randall. He'll drive, kick out. Caruso, catch, shoot, right wing 3 offline. Wolves have the rebound, but a loose ball foul. John Goebel is going to get Jaden McDaniels on the foul. It'll stay Thunder basketball.
I think one thing that you see here for Minnesota, their switching concept, they are aggressively switching up, Alan. Anybody that's coming off a screen, the switch is happening, and they are being super aggressive to switch and stay connected. Put that person under duress.
Shea with it off the inbound. Nickeil Alexander-Walker into the game. Off the high screen by Chet Holmgren. SGA bottled up in the paint by Rudy. Now Caruso, baseline drive. Missed the shot. Naz recovered. May have gotten a piece of it. Timberwolves come away with possession. Here's Dante. Keeps the dribble low. Flares out to the left sideline. Hounded by Cason Wallace. So having a tremendous postseason. He bats the rebound out of play into the third row.
There's just not too many players in this league that can chase, that can stay in front of somebody with the basketball as well as Casey Wallace. I mean, he stays connected and in front of players that are trying to drive on him as well as anybody in the league.
He's guarding Anthony Edwards here. Wallace has held him to 0 for 3 shooting and make it 0 for 4 as a straightaway 3 by Ant rims off. 24-9. The Wolves are still on an 11-0 run, part of a 24-5 burst. Shea with it, top of the key. Isaiah Joe now with a touch to Caruso in the corner. Pass up top, knocked away by Nikhil. It's out of bounds, and Josh Tibbins says Oklahoma City basketball.
Nikhil was trying to sell a foul that time as he got into the passing lane that time. Almost stole the pass from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Just out of bounds off of Nikhil. It's going to stay OKC Thunder ball.
8 to shoot. They double Shea on the perimeter. Rudy knocked it away. Rudy controls it. He drives to the cup. He gets fouled by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Well, the crowd enjoyed that. Rudy's going to the free throw line for 2. First foul on SGA.
This is what's needed to happen. And early in this series, they tried to play drop coverage a little bit to protect the painted area. But now Rudy's been up in coverage. Minnesota's been way more aggressive in this game. And I think that's what Chris Finch is talking about. Is, you know, they've been trying to play their way and try to play drop. And Shea's been really dismantling them in mid-range. But now they've been up in coverage. They've been turning OKC over. That's the 5th turnover. Minnesota already has 9 points off turnovers, and Rudy can add to it here and does. Makes the first one.
12-0 run. 2 of those 5 turnovers charged to Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah. A couple of days ago was named MVP of the league. First time in his career. Led the league in scoring 33 points a game. He was in the top 5 each of the prior 2 seasons to that. Free throw no good, but an offensive rebound for Ant, who's doing a little bit of everything. Edwards has it against Cason Wallace, hash mark far side. He'll drift up top now to the logo. Off a Naz Reid screen, takes a run on Chet, got it stripped. Wow. He thought he got fouled. Isaiah Joe comes away with the basketball. Joe in the left wing, pressured by Dante. Now Caruso at the nail, out to Wallace. Good pump fake, got by Rudy in the lane, drops it back out. Caruso straight away 3 is good. That snaps the 12-0 Timberwolves run, and a timeout is called with 2:16 left to play in this opening quarter. 25-12, the Timberwolves lead by 13 points. Good start for Minnesota. 53% shooting, 25 points. They've gotten 6 off their bench. They took 2 fast break points away. That shouldn't happen. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network. Along with Jim Peterson, I'm Alan Horton from our radio perch here in section 132 of the Lower Bowl, downtown Minneapolis, Target Center, the venue. Our studio host and executive producer, Cal Soderquist, our engineer, Mike Weber, our statisticians, Super Dave Hanlon and Mike Greenbaum. J.O. in the house.
Wow.
Josh Okogie. I love it. Studio coordinators Alex Leibolt, Ben Haney. Glad you're along with us on our flagship 100.3 FM KFAN The Fan, iHeartRadio app, Timberwolves mobile app, NBA app, SiriusXM, NBA radio channel 86, and all across the vast and ever-expanding Timberwolves radio network. I mean, that's about the only bad news is those 2 fast break points got taken away. I'm still I'm looking at 2 different box scores. They keep changing, and they're going back in time. What has stood out the most here in the opening 10 minutes of play?
Minnesota's aggressiveness, the way that they've come out here on both ends, really. I mean, they've gone back to what works for them. Got Julius Randle involved early after sitting out most of the fourth quarter. I mean, Julius Randle's been really good here early on. Ant has been super aggressive on both ends as well, attacking the paint, getting up in defense, getting steals. Minnesota has just been, I don't think they could have had a better start here to this game.
Out of the timeout, the Wolves will bring it up left to right here. Anthony Edwards off the high screen by Gobert. Bounce pass wing right. Here's Reed against his own defense. Now to Nikhil in the corner. Catch and shoot 3 halfway down. But Rudy's got an offensive rebound. He pivots, splitting 2 Thunder defenders, and he's all alone at the rim to throw it down with 2 hands. His 25th dunk of the postseason. Rudy Gobert makes this a 15-point Timberwolves lead. Caruso, catch and shoot, left wing 3 on the way, missed it long, high rebound. Chet Holmgren comes away with it, and then he's whacked across the arms by Dante DiVincenzo. Dante's committing in close to 3 fouls a game. Dante's been a minus 47 in 52 minutes in the first 2 games. He has played some solid minutes here. So has Rudy. So has Nas. So has Julius. And has kind of picked up where he left off, and now it's having an impact. Here's Chet stepping into a left angle three. Missed that one, and Nas Reed collects the rebound. Wolves dominant on the glass early on, 14-8, a +6. 1:23 left to go first quarter, just inside of midcourt. Cason Wallace hounding Edwards off the Gobert screen, bounce pass to the corner. Nikhil lines up the triple and hits this one. His last one rattled out, but Nikhil knocks it home. The Timberwolves 5 first quarter threes, 5 of 12 from distance. Chet down the lane, got a step on Rudy and jams it for 2. It's the easiest bucket the Thunder have gotten here tonight. Under a minute to go first quarter. Nikhil across the timeline, far side. Picked up by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he throws it away. He was trying to lead Anthony Edwards, but Ant wasn't quite close to that. Ant comes up complaining to Curtis Blair. It's not Ant's biggest fan. We all remember. Waved off the dunk over Gabe Vincent.
Gabe Vincent, that's right.
A couple of years, that's now 3 years ago now.
Sure wasn't 4?
It might be. Isaiah Joe, right side catch and shoot 3, missed it long. Nas up high for the rebound. He pulls that one down.
It was 5 years. I mean, that was his rookie year. Was the empty arena season?
No, there was crowd there for that one. That was the
Gabe Vincent dunk. There was a crowd there for that game.
Watanabe was
Watanabe was the empty season.
And pull up left side 3 is good. Oh, he answers back.
He is back, baby.
15 first quarter points for Anthony Edwards. 3 of 5 from distance.
The bench is back too, by the way.
Yeah.
All 3 of them have hit a 3 in this game.
All they needed was a little home cooking. Still a long way to go.
Yes.
18 seconds left to go opening quarter, but a dominant start, 33-14, up by 19.
Well, these fans are good at booing people, aren't they? Every time Shai gets it, just like Jimmy Butler in the last series, they are on top of it.
Draymond, Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Shai.
They call 8 seconds? What
They did. They called an 8-second call. Shai was just bringing it
just
up.
Casual.
Good old-fashioned 8-second call. I did not have that on my bingo card.
This should be easy for you, by the way. Josh Okogie's here, but you mentioned that. How many players are still left from when Josh Okogie last played in Timberwolves uniform?
0?
Come on.
And? I don't remember when Josh was here.
I know.
You got me confused about Gabe Vincent on the Miami Heat.
Okay.
Here's Ant with it with 8 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Against Dort, he splits through defenders.
Goodness.
Plenty of contact there. Ant goes down. He'll go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Well, Jaden and Nas were here before Ant, so right. So those
definitely
two.
Nas Reed.
So Nas and Jaden, and then Ant, and so there's only 3 guys. I was shocked. I just looked it up, so I have a little bit of advantage.
You think? I know the answer.
Well, I knew the answer. I wasn't going to ask you unless I knew the answer.
But I didn't know the answer.
That's kind of that's the whole point. I was testing the great Alan Horton.
You can't.
There's been a lot of turnover. I mean, last time J.O. played here, Patrick Beverly was still on the team.
That's true.
So.
Jake Layman, Leandro Balmero, Greg Monroe that year. Little Chris Silva mixed in with McKinley Wright the 4th.
That's right.
And free throws, both good. Nope, 1 out of 2. He's got 16, 34-14. Driving layup, and the buzzer is no good for Jalen Williams. Well, that was the second cleanest look the Thunder got in the opening quarter. They hit the last one, the Chet dunk, but they missed the Jalen Williams driving layup. Over the final 10:43 of this first quarter, the Wolves outscored the Thunder 34-10. So OKC led 4-0. Wolves go 34-10 over the next 10:43. They lead by 20. We're headed to the second next on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Searching for your next night out? The Lynx are bringing the energy all season long.
Here's Collier going to work again in the paint.
Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit lynxbasketball.com/tickets and get to our house for the biggest moments.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And
And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Finals.
In the NBA Finals, any moment can become unforgettable. Now is your chance to watch the next moment you'll remember forever.
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Unforgettable awaits. The 2025 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV begin June 5th on ABC.
The NBA playoffs have arrived, and if you're not in the building, you're missing out.
Up top, and he'll take off down the lane. He'll throw it down with the right hand.
Feel the energy. Ride the run. Grab your playoff tickets right now at Timberwolves.com/playoffs.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Here we go to the second quarter of Game 3. Timberwolves trying to get on the board. They trail the Thunder 2-0. The last 8 teams that have come back from 0-2 deficits lost those first 2 games on the road, and then all of them won Games 3 and 4. Not a huge surprise, but you've got to check the box of Game 3 first before you can jump ahead to Game 4 and think about possibly winning this series. Yeah. One reason the Wolves are down 0-2 is because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's put up monster numbers in the first 2 games and has started to get on track, but it just seems like even when he put up big numbers in Game 2, he still was a minus 22. Shai has done an incredible job of drawing fouls, 12 in Game 1, 9 in Game 2. So far, so good for the Wolves defense. 0 fouls drawn in that opening quarter.
Yeah, phenomenal job by Minnesota defensively. To not have Shai draw any fouls in that first quarter after they played so aggressively is pretty amazing. Now, how about this? Terrence Shannon Jr. into the game for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Mike Conley, Nickeil Alexander-Walker in the backcourt, but TJ at small forward position with Naz and Julius Randle. So that is really nice for Minnesota fans. They want to see this kid play, and here he is.
Getting an opportunity first time in the meat of the game in this series. TJ across the lane, got ball, flips up the shot, and hits it. How about that for an entrance? TJ Shannon if you need him. 36-14. The Wolves are up by 22. And TJ is going to the stripe for an and one.
How about that confidence builder? Jay Will into the game for OKC, too. He has not played in this series, so Jay Will is the one that fouled him.
Even when they emptied the bench, Jay Will was not a part of that group that finished Game 1.
Big Jalen Williams we're talking about.
Yep. The Jalen Williams in his 3rd year out of Arkansas, 22 years of age.
They're both in the game, by the way, so you got your work cut out for you.
J-Dub's got it here against Mike Conley. Kicks to Jay Will in the corner, and the 3 ball is no good. Timberwolves have the rebound. Thunder 2 of 12 shooting from beyond the arc to start this game. Up by 23 points after TJ hit the free throw. Shannon's got it. Hand off to Naz up top. Randall back to Shannon, left side. He'll put on the deck, dribbling the free throw line, pulls up for the jumper and hits it. He's 2 for 2. TJ Shannon has put the Wolves up by 25. Off a back screen by Jay Will. J-Dub drives, couldn't get the lay-in, but he got the foul. Well, look how animated the Wolves bench is, too. 3 assistant coaches popping up, directing traffic. James White's up in that second row. Free throw line coming for J-Dub. He'll get 2. These are the first free throw attempts for the Thunder in this game. And it's interesting because the Thunder are not a big, they're 28th in the regular season in free throw rate.
Sure.
They only average 20 a game. But what stands out is that Shai is the one who draws like 90% of those free throws.
Yeah, exactly right.
He's second best in the league.
But then as we found out, I mean, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander in the playoffs, you know, the free throw rate that he has this year is pales in comparison historically.
It really does.
I mean, there have been a lot of guys that have gotten to the line a lot more than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has.
J-Dub, 2 for 2 at the line. Nikhil will bring it up. Left side, Julius Randle. Wolves are in the icon Midnight Navy uniforms, working from left to right across your radio. Julius, a dribble drive out to Shannon in the corner. He finally misses. It's a 3-ball that comes up short. J-Dub's on the move. Shannon picks him up, trying to slow him up, but J-Dub's got one thing in mind, a drive and a shot off the back iron. No. Crowd doesn't like it. It didn't look like there was a whole lot of contact there. It's one of those calls that just makes you think. They look at who that defender is and they say, you're a rookie, you're getting that call against you.
Well, there is contact, and
I think TJ's just holding his own right there.
He's backing up, and he was square on the line of the drive by J-Dub that time, but
free throw is good. J-Dub with 3 straight free throws. Second free throw is good, 39-18. Timberwolves are up by 21 here in Game 3, just underway second quarter. Nikhil will bring it up. He's guarded by Aaron Wiggins. Now a handoff to Randall and over and back against the Timberwolves. Curtis Blair makes the call. Let's take a look at what happened there. Yeah, Julius had not gotten into the front court.
Again,
it's always confusing too about is it where the ball is, where the player is? Does the player have to have 2 feet in the front court?
You definitely got to be in the front court. Your first foot has to be in the front court. I think if you solidly have 1 foot in the front court, you're in the front court. But for Nikhil, the pickup point for him was at center court, and that's what they made him pick it up so early. That forced that early handoff, and that's going to be a foul here
on Jay Will. An illegal screen. It picks off Mike Conley, who just fights over the top of that. He knew the contact was coming. He was ready for it.
And that's the reason why Mike leads Minnesota in offensive fouls drawn. I mean, he's so good at that particular move, like, closely guarding the ball handler and getting over the top of the screen. He sells that contact as well as anybody.
Cason Wallace now, Mike, with it against J-Dub up top, setting up the offense. Julius Randle straddles the 3-point line, right angle, holding. Cason Wallace on him, left-handed dribble to the nail, out to Conley, who up fakes a 3, now drives into the paint, floats it up. That shot too strong. Jay Will with the rebound. J-Dub brings it up now. Crosses over on Shannon, now backs it out. Gets a Caruso screen, uses that to his right. Snakes his way to the elbow, down to the nail, out to Jay Will. Shot clock down to 9. Wiggins with it, over his shoulder to Jay Will. Right side Caruso. Left-handed dribble against Shannon in the paint, skids to a stop, now fades back. Missed the shot, air ball, put back, blocked, but contact, and a foul call with 0.4 of a second on the shot clock. It goes against Dante DiVincenzo.
Minnesota has to stay vigilant right now. You've just built this lead. You do not want to give it all back. I mean, they have to be solid here. TJ Shannon came into the game right away and paid dividends, but it's a 20-point game now. Minnesota's biggest lead was what in this game? 25? So you just don't ever know when that OKC Thunder boomlet's going to happen.
And so with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off the floor here, the Thunder have cut into that deficit. It's down to 19. 39-20. Wallace picks up Conley up top. Left side to Dante DiVincenzo. Hit a 3 earlier. Been struggling with that 3-point shot. Just 5 of 18 coming into Game 3. And Caruso over-aggressive on Conley, and another whistle against him.
And rightly so. I mean, like they've been allowed to get away with so much contact, and Caruso especially has been really able to get up and be overly aggressive, and no fouls have been called against him. They're setting the tone in this game.
Inbound to Mike. He rubs off the Shannon screen, steps back on a 3-ball, swishes. It is Jay Will, the big man, closing out on him. Mike Conley connects from deep. 3 for 10 from long range in the series. Wallace spins on Conley, gets down to the block, looking to pass out of it. It's deflected, but Jay Will's got it. Out to Alex Caruso, wing right with 12 to shoot. J-Dub up top, hand check by Shannon, easy call there. That will be the 4th team foul against the Wolves with 9:11 left to go in the second quarter. So just as we talked about, the Thunder not a big free throw rate team. Well, they've been getting there to start the quarter, and they're going to be in the bonus for a over 9-minute stretch here in the second frame. Caruso gets it in. Here's Jay Will with it up top. Shuffles it off to J-Dub against Julius Randle. Quick trigger on the three. Comes up well short. Rebound tapped out to midcourt. Dante tries to save it. Couldn't do it. Runs into Thunder head coach Mark Dagnall. Gives him a big slap on the backside. It'll be Thunder basketball. Shot clock
resets to 14.
I don't know if it was initially there. Shouldn't reset. There was no possession. I think maybe it just had been there. Felt like it was under that, though. Felt like a longer possession. Yeah. J-Dub on the attack. Ooh, stripped by Shannon. Scooped up by Conley. Feet up ahead to TJ. He's going to try to rock the rim. He'll lay it in with the left hand. TJ Shannon, what a burst he has been. In 3 minutes, he's got 7 points, and the Wolves' lead is back to 24. Timeout OKC. 8:48 left to go, second quarter. Wolves by 24 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
2 bands, 1 night. Bachman Turner Overdrive. The Marshall Tucker Band. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, July 19th, live at the Treasure Island Amphitheater. With special guest Jefferson Starship. A night of vintage PTO. A night of classic Marshall Tucker Band. Tickets on sale now at TICasino.com.
Rosie here, plugging you into safety, service, and innovation. Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs. From troubleshooting to panel replacements, they leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all the residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with a new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
As a business owner, you understand the importance of protecting your reputation, workplace, employees, and financial assets. Our team is ready to help yours by creating a custom lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management service to help you stay at the top of your game. Contact your local Federated representative for more information today. Federated Insurance. It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+, Superior by AM Best Company.
Opening quarter was the Wolves' 34-10 run to close out the first quarter. It was essentially the entire first quarter. OKC jumped out to the 4-0 lead, then the Wolves go 34-10. Story of the second quarter has been TJ Shannon. He's been out there for 3 minutes and 12 seconds. He scored 7 points on 3 of 4 shooting. He's already hit a free throw, and he's a +4 in those 3 minutes of play. And in the regular season, in 3 games against the Thunder, Shannon got an opportunity. That was during that stretch where the Wolves had a ton of injuries. So Jalen Clark played a lot in the series against OKC. So did TJ, who averaged 26 minutes, scored 12 points, 6 rebounds. And we've seen what he provides, Jim. When he steps on the floor, the Wolves just play at a different pace. He has got a great mindset to go along with that skill set of just that 0.5 mentality. He just increases things.
Well, what I say about Terrence Shannon Jr., when he comes onto the court, he plays like his hair's on fire. And he is one of those guys that's determined to get to the rim. Defensively, he's physical. He's really what Minnesota is in terms of how they play. Defensive-minded, plays fast, plays tough, looking to attack the basket.
I thought he was going to dunk that ball over Caruso. I was setting up for that, and I know he was thinking
took off a little too far from the rim that time.
Yeah, he did, but he got the lay-in, which is the most important thing. Get the 2 points any way you can. J-Dub pull up free throw line, extended jumper right wing. It's an air ball, and Naz Reid's got another rebound. That's his 4th. Here's TJ Shannon on the run in the lane, flips up the shot. It's off the front rim, no. But he drew contact, and he'll go to the free throw line.
He's just so single-minded.
The amazing number in the regular season was that when TJ was on the floor, the pace of play was 104 possessions per game. When he's off the floor, it drops to 98. I mean, that's not a lot of a huge sample size, but pretty impressive that when he steps on the floor, that changes that drastically.
Yeah, I mean, that's 98 to 104. It doesn't sound like much, but in terms of pace of play, in terms of basketball terms, the difference between 98 and 104 is how many places within the league rank. I mean,
it's a bunch.
And you would go to number one, wouldn't you, if you were at 104?
You're pretty close.
Yeah.
Top 5 for sure. And the Wolves don't want to lead the league in pace of play, but just having that extra little burst and maybe getting up into an average or above average.
Perfect for a bench guy to come in and change tempo.
Absolutely. 46-20
He's got
after
9
TJ
points. Minnesota
knocks down 2 free throws.
18-8 advantage off the bench right now.
46-20 the lead. Largest advantage of the game. Here's Holmgren against Shannon. Forced up the shot. TJ held his own, and Holmgren comes up empty on that possession. Here's TJ with it. Crosses over on Hartenstein. Sweeping hook off the glass. A little bit of a heat check for TJ there, as the rebound ends up out of bounds in the Thunder bench.
I think everybody's good with that, aren't you? I think everybody, it was a little bit unorthodox, the way he did that, attack with his left hand. It is his strong hand. The sweeping hook isn't necessarily textbook, but still love it.
9 points in 4 minutes for TJ Shannon. SGA back in. He drives hard on Randall, fades along the baseline left side. The shot short. Shea is 1 of 5 shooting. The rebound goes out of bounds. It's off of OKC.
Terrence Shannon's going to get a nice ovation. Jaden comes into the game. Everybody in Target Center standing up for TJ.
Rudy Gobert, the first to greet him, coming to the bench. 4+ minutes, 9 points, 3 of 5 shooting, and a healthy plus-minus to go along with it.
Why take him out?
7:44 left to go before halftime. Nas with it off the Randall screen. Crosses over on Hartenstein, comes across the paint, runs it up with the left hand and hits it.
This is more like it.
28-point lead, 9-0 Timberwolves run. The booze rain down for SGA. Goes into the paint, kicks out. Aaron Wiggins, left side 3. He rattles that one in. 48-23. The Thunder are 3 of 14 on their threes. The Wolves are 7 of 15. Left side 3 for Mike. Yo, boy! 2 threes for Mike Conley here in the second quarter. The Thunder need another timeout. The Wolves lead them by 28 points. It's 51-23. It's a 12-3 Timberwolves run midway through the second quarter. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball.
Looking for a next-level way to bring your crew together? A Minnesota Lynx game is the perfect spot for your group. Whether it's a work outing, youth team night, birthday bash, or celebration, groups get discounted tickets, block seating, and a shout-out on the big screen, plus access to exclusive fan experiences like high-fiving the team, watching warm-ups, or even playing on the Lynx court. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Lock in your group now at lynxbasketball.com/groups and make memories that last way past the final buzzer.
Hey Timberwolves fans, ready to score big with Wolves gear without breaking the bank? Let me introduce you to Sezzle and the Pay in 4 program. With Sezzle, you can split your payments into 4 easy, interest-free installments on all your Wolves purchases. From jerseys and hoodies to courtside seats, Sezzle has got you covered. Wherever you shop, however you rep the Wolves. Download the Sezzle app and get started today. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Subject to approval, see terms and conditions at Sezzle.com.
All right, another check-in of the Eastern Conference Finals. They're set for Game 3 tomorrow night from Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indy. Game 2 took place last night at the Garden. Nervous Knicks fans hoping to see their team even the series up at a game apiece. All good through 3 quarters. They were all tied up, but then Indy surged in front in the fourth on their way to a 114-109 victory. Pascal Siakam led the way with 39 on 15 of 23 shooting. Jalen Brunson had 36 and 11 dimes in the loss. Karl Anthony Towns, he put up 20-7, and his head coach, Tom Thibodeau, kept his postgame press conference short and sweet, emphasizing the need to be ready for Game 3.
Just get ready for the next one. You got to be ready for the next challenge. We got to study the film, make our corrections, get ready to play again.
All right, we've heard that response before here in Timberwolves Nation. Of course, the Knicks down 0-2, facing the next 2 on the road. against a Pacer team that's hungry to get even further than they got last season. Game 3 tomorrow night from Indy just after 7 o'clock. This update brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places. Back to Alan Horton and Jim Peterson.
All right, Cal, thank you. 7:13 left to go, second quarter. Timberwolves in front of the Thunder, 51-23. By far and away their largest lead of the series. They're down 2-0. Timberwolves basketball in Game 3 brought to you in part by U.S. Bank. U.S. Bank is proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. And by Sezzle. A 4-point play doesn't happen often in the NBA. That's hard. Splitting your next Wolves purchase into 4 interest-free installments with Sezzle, that's easy. Download the Sezzle app today. Terms and conditions apply. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards played the opening 12 minutes of this game. He scored 16 points. That's tied for the third most points he has scored in a quarter in his postseason career. He has already become the franchise leader in postseason points. Last game he passed Kevin Garnett for first. And boy, the more he plays, he's closer to passing KG for most postseason career games, which is incredible to think. Ants led the team the postseason 4 of his 5 years, and tonight's his 40th career postseason games. KG's at 47.
Yeah. Shows you what a great coach Chris Finch has been, too, by the way.
Yep. Thunder have it out of the timeout. Rolling big man as Hartenstein takes the feed for the other big man, Holmgren, when they connected earlier to start the game. And they get a similar type result, a Hartenstein dunk. And there's a foul in there as well, so a 3-point play for Hartenstein.
Mike tried challenging him at the rim. Mike was the low man that time. He kind of did a flyby, wasn't impacted at all by Mike's presence, but Nas came from behind and fouled him.
Hartenstein to the free throw line for the first time in this series, and he misses badly, short. Nas has got another rebound. He's got a team high, in fact, a game high, 6 rebounds. Mike lobs it right wing. Here is Nasrin. Swings it over his shoulder to the right angle. Julius Randle going to work against Hartenstein across the lane. Hanging the kick out. Here's Jaden McDaniels on the attack against Holmgren. In the paint, fades on the jumper. It's short. We see that so often with Rudy. When you have someone of Chet's size or Rudy's size, it just affects the shot. Shea, pull up straightaway 3 off the back iron. No, and Mike Conley up high for the rebound.
He skied for that one.
With 2 hands, went up strong. Dribbles into a straightaway 3. No, pulls it down, feeds Ant. Wing left. Here's Randall with 6:25 to go in the first half. Backing down SGA. Muscles him up. Runs it up with a left hand. Missed it. Offensive rebound, McDaniels. Out to Reed. He'll take a run on Holmgren. Right to the cup. The lay-in good off the glass.
Oh, man. This is Nas and Julius at their best right now. Nas just playing bully ball. Didn't get paid off, but Nas certainly did.
Shea tried to split 2 defenders to the rolling big man Hartenstein. It got knocked out of bounds. It'll stay Thunder basketball. Shea is 1 of 6 shooting in this game.
I mean, Julius started 2 of 2, and he's gone 0 of 4 since, but he's played better than that. You know, he's done some nice things. He's missed a couple threes, but he really got Minnesota off to a physical start. Rudy back into the game now for
the plus
Julius.
Minus speaks to that. It's a plus 23, which is the best on the team, along with Dante. Shea turns it over. He got airborne, didn't know what to do with it, came down with it. That's his second turnover of the game. 3 turnovers on Gilgeous-Alexander's, yet the draw foul is 1 of 5 shooting. He's a minus 22, which along with Cason Wallace is the worst on the team. It has been a dominant first half of play for Minnesota, hitting 57% of their shots, 8 of 16 from deep. Thunder, 27% shooting and 3 of 15. Plus, they've turned it over 9 times. Now Dort trips up Edwards. Dort went down initially, then took out some frustration on Ant. Dort will pick up another foul. That'll be his second.
Minnesota's enjoying the biggest lead of the game right now. 28 points. It's 53-25. And so this is where 5:50 to go here in the quarter, Alan. They've got to finish this quarter strong. This is where they falter. The end of the second quarter and the whole third quarter has been dismal for Minnesota in this series so far.
Conley dancing off the Rudy screen. Fires a right angle 3. That's off the heel, and Chet Holmgren secures the rebound. SGA brings it up the center of the floor. Left-handed dribble. He's met by Jaden McDaniels. He'll pull up on the 3 and stroke it. That's his second field goal. Both of them, his first 3. So he's got 5 points. 2 of 7 shooting for Shea. His 3-point shooting has not been strong in the postseason. 1 for 6 in this series coming into tonight, and he's 1 for 3 tonight, so 3 for 9. Here's a drive by Ant, kick to the corner, McDaniels, now Reed. Pump fake, flyby, let's go on the right angle, triple, and nails it. Naz Reed, who was 0 for 12 in the first 2 games from deep, is now 2 for 2 tonight. The Timberwolves lead is back up to 28. Here's SGA, knifes his way through traffic, then flips it up with the right hand, no, but a whistle and a foul. Naz commits it, he says. That's the first foul drawn by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and these will be his first free throw attempts of the game. He's averaging 10 free throw attempts a game in the postseason. And he's been hearing the boos from this Timberwolves crowd right from the opening tip.
You know, Wolves picked up their 4th foul with 9:11 to go in the quarter, and we always talk about time spent in the bonus, so just one free throw was the one that Hartenstein missed. That's the one free throw that they gave up on that and one opportunity, but these are the first 2 free throws that they've shot after that. So this Wolves done a good job here of not fouling while they've been in the penalty.
And essentially a 4-minute stretch.
Right.
A.J. Mitchell minutes here in the first half. Free throw merchant is trying to get coordinated between all the groups out there.
I feel like it started here, though.
I did too. 56-30 after Shai knocks them both down. He's got 7 points. Bulls are up by 26 here. Randall with it up top against Hartenstein. Gets into the paint to the corner. McDaniels baseline drive. He bowls over SGA. Off to Rudy. Now out to Nikhil. He'll take a run down Main Street. The floater up and in. Nikhil Alexander-Walker cashes in. He's got 5 off the bench. The Timberwolves bench production here in the first half. 27-8 is what they're outscoring OKC. Floater in the lane is good for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He came into the night hitting 10 of 15 on those difficult floater shots. Here's Ant, who has not scored in the second quarter. Off the Rudy screen, hedged by Hartenstein. Now Ant takes a run on Dort to the left elbow, rises for the jumper, came up short, and J-Dub's got the rebound. Off to Hartenstein, who swings it to the corner. Here's A.J. Mitchell. 3 ball's going to be offline. Ant's got the rebound. Boy, Dort whacked him there. Easily could have been a third on Dort. And up in the front court, bounce pass, Randall, extra pass, Nikhil fakes right, comes left, drives it in, hits the shot, and he drew the foul. What a play for Nikhil Alexander-Walker. Took the contact and still able to get nothing but nylon.
Good ball movement, too, by Minnesota. Quickly pass from Julius to Nikhil in the corner. Had ideas of shooting it, but the closeout came quickly. He put it on the deck right away and just forced himself right to the rim.
Nikhil's and one opportunity, swirls out. Hartenstein collects the rebound. Here's SGA with it up top against McDaniels. Stops at the elbow. They run a second defender at him. That leaves A.J. Mitchell open in the corner. He misfires on the 3. Mitchell is 0 for 2. Both from beyond the arc. Ant to the corner. Lobs it back out. Here's Randall with it. Spins on A.J. Mitchell. Steps through. Runs into Hartenstein. Kicks out to McDaniels. Right wing 3 offline. Rudy got a hand to the rebound. Couldn't secure it. Out of bounds. John Goebel says OKC basketball.
I think Tiven's going to come over here and help him out.
Yep, the officials overruled themselves. No, the Wolves don't want a challenge now. Mike Conley ran out there. He's grabbing Chris Finch saying, they overruled themselves.
Yeah. Josh Tiven did a good job, though. He was the slot referee that time. He went down there and helped out John Goebel and told him which way that one went. Rudy knew right away. But, you know, Rudy does the challenge thing too often. Yep. Sometimes he's wrong.
Inbound comes to Rudy, left angle. Straddles the three-point line. Two-man game with Ant. Rudy, couple of dribbles, spins on Hartenstein, up off glass, no. Tip followed by McDaniels, no. He sticks with it. He puts it back up, missed it, but he drew the foul. Jaden attacking the glass, earns a trip to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Boy, he was ready to slam that initial putback down. Just the timing was off. He also got hit by Lou Dort. Dort does pick up the foul, reaching in. That's his third.
SGA has scored their last 7 points, but they've not scored a lot here. It's been, you know, they scored. How many points in the first quarter did they score? I mean, it was 34-14.
Yeah, 14. 14 points of 29% shooting and 2 of 11 from deep. 6 turnovers. Dort now has 10 fouls in just about 80 minutes of play.
Biggest lead in the game for Minnesota is 30.
If SGA is the free throw merchant, Lou Dort might be the foul merchant. Missed 3 by Chet Holmgren. He's hit 1 triple tonight, but he's missed 3. Thunder, 4 of 19 from long range. Ant with it up top. Here comes the double. Right side to McDaniels. They get it right back to Ant on the move against Cason Wallace. Gets down to the right block, shuts off, frees himself, and sinks the 10-foot jumper. Anthony Edwards, 18 points, 7 of 10 shooting. He's got 8 rebounds, 2 assists to go along with those 18 points. SGA looking to answer baseline, same shot, different result. It rims off, and Rudy's got the rebound.
I don't think he's used to being booed as often as he's been booed here in this game. I don't think he's probably ever been booed.
Here's Randall, spins baseline, up strong, with the left hand, able to finish off the window. Another timeout for Mark Dagnall. 2:27 left to go here in the first half, and the Wolves are up by 34 points.
I wonder where Stephen A. Smith is right now. He got slapped with a little bit of reality here in the first half.
Might be up on the platform to our right. That's where everybody else seems to be.
The pundits, though, it's amazing to me how quickly they just gave up on Minnesota after the first 2 games.
Not a surprise. Not a surprise. Fans, the NBA playoffs are heating up, and there's still time to catch games live and in person at Target Center. Lock in your postseason tickets right now at Timberwolves.com/playoffs. That's Timberwolves.com/playoffs. Timberwolves basketball also brought to you in part by Travel South Dakota. It's time to put routine at the end of the bench because you deserve to disconnect from the ordinary and connect to the ones who matter most. Discover endless reasons to pack your bags at TravelSouthDakota.com. 66 points on 56% shooting. Now the Timberwolves had really struggled from the field in the first 2 games. They shot 41% game 2. They shot 35% in game 1. And I know the Thunder defense, number 1 in the NBA, but the Wolves offense should have been shooting better than that. This might be,
there's no doubt,
beyond what they could have hoped for, but much more what they were hoping for.
Absolutely. 29 bench points right now. They had 13 in the first game, 35 in the second game, but they got 29 here in the half. So this is a much more representation of what Minnesota does here.
Here is Jalen Williams out of the timeout. Needs Isaiah Joe wing left. He'll back it out against Ant and claps his hands right in Joe's face. Here's J-Dub off the Holmgren screen. Back up top, Joe fires over Ant, who is so active defensively. Missed it short. Wallace, the offensive rebound. Here's J-Dub to the rim. He got fouled. He'll go to the free throw line for 2, where he's 4 for 4 here tonight. 66-32. Still a 34-point lead. That last foul got charged to Rudy Gobert. Rudy picks up his second. He's got 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. And the free throw for J-Dub is good. Now in his 3rd year out of Santa Clara.
He's done a nice job of drawing fouls here in the quarter. Drawn 4 fouls here. He's not a foul merchant.
Who? Williams?
J-Dub. But he did draw 4 fouls. Misses that second one now.
5 of 6 from the free throw line. He's got 5 points. All 5 of his points have come at the stripe. He's 0 for 5 from the field. He had a really nice first couple of games. Ant feeds Julius left side. Randall will bang away with Isaiah Joe. Takes him into the paint to the dotted line. Hesitates, rises. Now the jump hook drops in.
Right.
And Randall able to lean in on that one. So often we see him fade. He got an extra couple of feet closer to the rim because he was going against Isaiah Joe there. Had the height advantage. 68-33, up by 35 points. Right side 3 is up and in for J-Dub. That's his first field goal of the night. 5 of 21 from deep for OKC.
28-12 advantage for Minnesota in the paint. That's more like it, too.
Wolves have been a minus 24 per game in the first 2 games. Here's Ant to the free throw line. Step back 16-footer is good. Ant's making it look easy tonight. He's 8 of 11 shooting. He's up to 20 points. 8 rebounds, 3 dimes. So far, Ant only 1 turnover. SGA with it off the Holmgren screen. Snakes his way to the top of the key. Now zips into the corner. Pass offline to Joe, but he's got it. Baseline drive off to Holmgren. Met by Rudy. And contact. Curtis Blair calls the foul on Rudy. That'll be his third. Well, they said last time it was his second personal foul. Should have trusted the monitor. It's a second now for Rudy Gobert. First free throw is good for Holmgren. Chet, the Minneapolis native, talked about playoff atmosphere here in his hometown.
It's great. Way back when, I could have never pictured this because Timberwolves didn't really have a winning track record. So, it's great to see them have things kind of turned around and see what it's done for the city. Tremendous respect for the new ownership and what they've done here. But at the end of the day, I'm rocking with them. Go out there and get it done.
Chet Holmgren on the Timberwolves' success. Of course, he's worried about his team's success, but a Minneapolis native, Minnehaha Academy. Free throws were both good for Jalen Williams, and a foul at the other end will send Julius Randle to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Julius only got to the free throw line twice in game 2. Julius has been averaging right around 5 free throw attempts per game here in the postseason. Shooting it exceptionally well, 89%. Nothing but net there. A mysterious wet spot at the three-point line that Josh Tiven discovered.
They're on it here, the ball kids. They're well trained.
Second free throw is good. The second free throw, it's interesting. The two players go all the way forward, but not both to the corners. Isaiah Joe stayed on the same side as Caruso. And a Shai Gilgeous-Alexander turnover. That'll be his 4th of the first half.
Is this the best half of basketball Minnesota's played all season? It's got to be one of them.
Probably with the stakes the way they are,
It's
too.
the highest scoring.
Yeah, Ant just lost it off his own foot out of bounds. A rare miscue for the Wolves here in the first half. It's their 4th turnover. 29 seconds left to go in a dominant first half. 72-38. That's right, 72-38. J-Dub fakes the pass to the corner, lines up the left angle 3 and hits.
Just shouldn't happen.
72-41. The whole possession shouldn't have happened. And that was under no pressure. Dribble it off his foot at midcourt out of bounds. Randle with it against J-Dub. Shot clock is dark. Thunder don't have a foul to give. Nikhil fumbles it, regains control. Takes a drive into the paint, runs it up. The shot short. Rebound tapped around. It's loose, scooped up by Shai. Three-quarter court shot at the buzzer is off the top of the backboard. No, the half comes to a close. The Timberwolves have answered the bell for 24 minutes. 72 points, 56% shooting. 9 of 19 from deep. A dominant first half, and they hold the MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, to 9 points on 3 of 10 shooting and turn him over 4 times in that first half. At the half, 72-41, the Timberwolves lead it by 31. Stay tuned. Cal Soderquist anchors your halftime coverage next, all across the Minnesota Timberwolves radio network.
Yeah. Hey, look, a W is a W. And thanks to our FVP batteries in the lineup, we're playing up to our potential. You saw it out there today. What I'm loving about this FPP battery right now is the consistency. Day in, day out. No drama. Great work ethic with tremendous upside. I said this before. You gotta be a self-starter in this league. That's why FPP is my MVP. Automotive batteries from FVPparts.com. You gotta reach for what works.
Next question.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease. It'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVP since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
Gets down to the right block, shuts off, frees himself, and sinks the 10-foot jumper. Anthony Edwards, 18 points, 7 of 10 shooting. He's got 8 rebounds, 2 assists to go along with those 18 points. SGA looking to answer baseline, same shot, different result. It rims off, and Rudy's got the rebound.
I don't think he's used to being booed as often as he's been booed here in this game. I don't think he's probably ever been booed.
Here's Randall, spins baseline, up strong, with the left hand, able to finish off the window. Another timeout for Mark Dagnall. 2:27 left to go here in the first half, and the Wolves are up by 34 points.
I wonder where Stephen A. Smith is right now. He got slapped with a little bit of reality here in the first half.
Yeah, Jim Peterson with some strong words for some of those national pundits who maybe, just maybe, threw a little dirt on the Timberwolves ahead of this Game 3. And, well, the Minnesota Timberwolves, a pretty strong statement in those opening 24 minutes as well. They built a lead as large as 35. It is a 72-41 halftime cushion up on that Oklahoma City Thunder team that racked up 68 wins in the regular season and admittedly made it look pretty easy in the first 2 games of the series. But it was a party for the Timberwolves in the first 2 quarters here tonight. They've got the advantage at the halftime intermission. Welcome inside the halftime show. I'm Cal Soderquist from inside our NBA Tonight studios, where in just a moment we'll get to a few more of those first half highlights. We'll take a closer look at that first half box score. Lots to like if you're a Timberwolves fan. Minnesota shot nearly, better than 56% from the field, nearly 50% from deep, and won the turnover battle. Just 4 first half turnovers, outscoring Oklahoma City 13-6 in terms of points off turnovers. And how about the first half? Minnesota held NBA MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to just 9 points, 3 of 10 from the field in his 20 first half minutes. Thunder as a team shot just 30%, just 26% from deep. And the Wolves virtually playing OKC to a draw in terms of the free throws. OKC shot 11 of 13 from the stripe, Minnesota 9 of 12. We'll also, before the third quarter resumes, Alan and Jim will chat with assistant coach Pablo Prigioni to talk about what might be discussed in the Timberwolves locker room right now as we speak, as again, Minnesota opening up the 72-41 lead at the half in this Game 3. Let's get to those highlights. Back on their home floor, staring at that 2-0 series hole, the Timberwolves hoping that Target Center and the energy from 18,000 plus can serve as the cure for what ails them. And although we did see the Thunder score the first 4 of this contest, it was Anthony Edwards taking matters into his own hands to ensure that the charged up crowd had plenty to cheer about and that Minnesota got the hot start that they coveted.
Hartenstein's a guy who's committed a lot of fouls, and I feel like you can turn him over. And open left side. Catch and shoot 3 is there. What a screen by Rudy. He set that one, and Lou Dort ran right into him. Dort couldn't get out and contest that triple. It's 11-7. Here's Hartenstein. Free throw line. Shot no. The rebound all the way out to midcourt. Into the front court and tracks it down. He's alone to the rim. Look out below. Elevate and detonate. 13-7, and Target Center is rocking and rolling.
Could not hear yourself think at that point in the Target Center early on. That was actually one of 2 different sequences where Anthony Edwards provided us a 3 and then a run-out bucket in that first quarter. He finished with 16 in that opening frame, 6 of 8 from the field, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. The 16 points, the 5 boards, and the 2 dimes, all team-high numbers in those opening 12 minutes. Minnesota shot 6 of 13 from distance in that first quarter, but it wasn't just Ant, and it wasn't just the three-point shooting that helped Minnesota build a big lead in the opening quarter.
Out of the timeout, the Wolves will bring it up left to right here. Anthony Edwards off the high screen by Gobert. Bounce pass wing right. Here's Reed against his own defense. Now McKeel in the corner. Catch and shoot 3 halfway down. But Rudy's got an offensive rebound. He pivots, splitting 2 Thunder defenders, and he's all alone at the rim to throw it down with 2 hands. His 25th dunk of the postseason. Rudy Gobert makes this a 15-point Timberwolves lead.
So up 15 at that point. Timberwolves did win the rebounding battle in this first half, and they dominated in the paint as well. That's a category where the Thunder have been the superior team through the first two games, but it's a 28-12 Timberwolves edge in terms of the paint points in that first half. So the Thunder, like we said, scored the first 4 of the first frame. Wolves then finished that first quarter on a 34-10 run. They led it 34-14 after the opening 12 minutes. That was Oklahoma City's lowest scoring first quarter of their entire season. And for the first time in this series, we saw some Terrence Shannon Jr. minutes very early on. He made his appearance to start the second quarter, and he wasted very little time making an impact for the Wolves.
J-Dub on the attack. Ooh, stripped by Shannon. Scooped up by Conley. Feet up ahead to TJ. He's going to try to rock the rim. He'll lay it in with the left hand. TJ Shannon, what a burst he has been in 3 minutes. He's got 7 points, and the Wolves lead is back to 24.
Ended up being a 4-minute stint for the rookie. How about 9 points, 3 of 5 from the field, perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line, and that steal you heard right there. In fact, those 9 points in just that 4-minute stint, those are the most points scored by a Timberwolves rookie reserve in team playoff history. So talk about making an impact in your playoff debut. Take a bow. TJ, excellent stuff there in that second quarter as Minnesota continued to pour it on, and they did not take their foot off the gas pedal.
48-23. The Thunder are 3 of 14 on their threes. The Wolves are 7 of 15. Left side 3 for Mike. Yo, boy! 2 threes for Mike Conley here in the second quarter. The Thunder need another timeout. The Wolves lead them by 28 points. It's 51-23.
Yeah, Mike Conley knocks down 2 triples. Anthony Edwards, 3 of 5 from distance. And even guys like Naz Reid, a perfect 2 of 2. Nickeil Alexander-Walker had one, and Dante DiVincenzo had one. Great to see that bench seemingly get back on track. The Minnesota second unit outscored Oklahoma City's reserves 29-8 in those first 24 minutes. The lead ballooned as large as 35. It is currently a 72-41 advantage for the Timberwolves at the intermission. They shot 56% from the field, 9 of 19 from distance. That's a 47% clip. So hard to even squint and find something that you weren't pleased with if you're a Timberwolves fan in terms of that first half box score. Anthony Edwards and his 20 points, good enough to lead all scorers in that first half, and his 8 of 11 from the field, good enough to make him our hot player of the half. Brought to you, as always, by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, providing the comfort you deserve since 1930. Visit them online at standardheating.com. We will take a pause. We'll come back. We'll quickly catch you up on the Eastern Conference Finals with Game 3 coming up tomorrow evening, and then we'll get you set for third quarter action here at the Target Center as the Wolves have the big lead through 2 quarters in this Game 3. You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Postseason dunks, threes, buzzer beaters. There's so much NBA happening. I gotta keep up.
Whoa, take it easy there. There's a better way to NBA. All playoffs long.
Wait, really?
With the NBA app, you get real-time stats and scores for every playoff matchup. Witness playoff drama as it unfolds.
But seriously?
Catch every bucket all in one place, all for free.
Where have you been all my life?
There's a better way to NBA. Download the app today. Available on the Google Play, Apple app, and Android stores.
Wolves fans, this team is only getting better, and next season starts now.
Nas with it off to Ant. Drives it in. Hammers it through with the right hand.
Bring it with a full, half, or quarter season membership and get playoff priority, exclusive perks, and every can't-miss moment from Anthony Edwards.
It's Ant's time. He's taking over here in the fourth.
Don't wait. Head to Timberwolves.com/memberships to claim your seats.
Oh, the energy in the building right now is through the roof.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
This copyrighted broadcast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the express written consent of the NBA.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Still at the intermission here at the Target Center in Game 3 between the Timberwolves and Thunder. It's a 72-41 lead for the home team. Anthony Edwards leads the way with 20 in that first half. 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. 16 of those 20 came in a tone-setting opening quarter that saw the Thunder score the first 4 points. And then the Timberwolves finished the frame on a 34-10 burst. Their lead ballooned as large as 35. And it was an absolute party on a Saturday night here in downtown Minneapolis in those first 24 minutes. They'll have to keep their foot on the gas. We've got third quarter action just around the corner. Let's first pause 10 quick seconds, allow our stations across the network to identify themselves here on your home for Timberwolves basketball. Timberwolves up 72-41. We'll take a quick pause. We'll come back with third quarter action and assistant coach Pablo Prigioni next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in.
Oh, look at this. And we got Jose and Tom here, too. Thank you for hanging out with us this afternoon for our Playoff Pulse campaign this evening, whatever time it is where you're watching from. We appreciate you being here. Now's the time of the show. Please check the link that's pinned in the chat, as well as in the description. That's going to take you to our homepage at SickKids Hospital in Toronto, where you can add your donation to our Playoff Pulse campaign or share that link out and politely ask people to help you raise money for SickKids Hospital with Toronto Sports Insider and TSI Tom. You got anything to say there before you go to school, Tom?
Well, like and subscribe.
Yeah. Thank you for being here. We'll see you back in the chat. Thank you for making a difference with SickKids Hospital in Toronto. Every single one of you. Much appreciated.
Cheers, insiders and sports fans from around the world. The Playoff Pulse campaign on Toronto Sports Insider is uniting fans worldwide through the thrill of NHL and NBA playoffs. Every game, every fan, every moment counts.
To every child and family who've needed us since 1875, and all who support us, our hospital needs no introduction. But just in case, it's SickKids. And it's our 150th birthday. Our mission has always been healthier children, a better world. The first children's hospital in Canada, SickKids. Pasteurizing milk to prevent disease 30 years before it was mandatory. The heart-lung machine that transformed open heart surgery. A pediatric kidney transplant in 1969. SickKids, SickKids, and SickKids. We discovered the gene for cystic fibrosis so patients live longer lives. And we just created the world's first Atlas of Cancer, using machine learning to analyze 13,000 variations. Today, the hospital sees over 130,000 patients a year. We're a research powerhouse, a training magnet, attracting nearly 600 clinical and research fellows from around the globe every year. And we're the #1 publicly funded children's hospital in the world. We're celebrating 150 years of excellence, driven by philanthropy. What's next? Thanks to donors like you, we're going to keep healing Canada and the world. and we're going to heal the future.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I want to thank you. Thank you for supporting the kids' cut.
Thank you for helping us save kids' lives.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being... Thank you.
Back for Julius Randle. Anthony Edwards bounced pass, threw it behind Rudy and turned it over. 3 turnovers now on Edwards. 72-41. You hear the boos. That's for SGA, who pops in a straightaway 3 and hits. That's a step back 3 too. It's funny, in the postseason, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander shooting 39% on step back 3s, but he's just 5 for 31 on non-step back 3s. Really struggling. Here's Ant in the paint. Swings it to the corner. Low feed from Randall. And Mike fires it right wing to McDaniels. And the 3 ball's offline. You can tell Julius was frustrated on that low feed to Mike Conley. He takes pride in zipping it right in the shooter's pocket. He didn't do it that time. Isaiah Joe into the paint. Fades from the dotted line and hits. Kind of angling to his left and back. 72-46. The 5-0 run to begin the third quarter. Here's Randall. Beats J-Dub off the dribble. Rises up on Holmgren and lays it in for 2. Impressive finish for Julius Randle, who's up to 12 points. Right wing Holmgren. Behind his back. Left-handed dribble here. Working against McDaniels. And Jaden reached in. And the foul is called by Josh Tiven. 15th year for Josh Tiven. 3 officials tonight: John Goble, Josh Tiven, and Curtis Blair. 50 years of NBA experience, 287 games combined postseason experience. It's about half of what the crew we had last game, which had Scott Foster. And that ball, boy, I don't think that ball got deflected at all. This might be worthy of a challenge. And now the officials are going to talk it over to see what they're going to rule. This is Timberwolves basketball. Well, they are going to say OKC ball. I didn't think that ball got touched.
Mike was pretty adamant about it. Didn't look like Jaden touched it, but Jaden, Mike, and everybody was saying it's Minnesota's ball.
Rolling is Holmgren. Takes the feed from SGA. Fades in the paint after he took contact. He'll hit the shot, and he'll go to the free throw line for an and 1.
Ball screen action. Rudy on the wrong side of the screen. He was helpless. Julius tried to be the low man to come help off of Lou Dort. Was just late. Chet's too big, man. If you don't meet him outside the restricted area, it's all over.
He's just too big in general. 7-1, 250. Knocks down the and 1. You know, when it came to and 1s this year, I realized that both the Thunder and Wolves had 184 and 1 opportunities. And they each had 142 makes. It's incredible. The only 2 teams to be tied. Same number of makes and attempts. Randall to the corner. Here's McDaniels. Starts to back down. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander spins baseline. Turnaround jumper. No. Mike. Thought he was going to sneak in for the rebound, but J-Dub's got it. 5-on-4 Thunder with Rudy behind the play. Dort open. Right angle 3 on the way. That's net. 74-52. It is now a 22-point game. Timberwolves being outscored here 11-2 in the third quarter. Timeout Chris Finch as the Wolves try to regroup. OKC has had big third quarters, but this time trying to erase what was a 35-point deficit at one point. Timeout on the floor. 9:15 left to go in the third. It's the Timberwolves 74. It's the Thunder 52. You're listening to the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
As a business owner, do you have a game plan in place to stay focused on safety and preventing claims? Let our team help support your business. Federated Insurance offers a customizable lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management services to help you continue your winning streak. At Federated Mutual Insurance Company, it's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
Hey, Wolves fans, listen up.
Step up your shoe game this season with Trade Home Shoes, your Minnesota-based employee-owned retailer. Trade Home Shoes has on-trend footwear for the entire family. Brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival Shoes, and more. With over a century of experience and 130 locations nationwide, Trade Home Shoes is where generations meet comfort and style. Trade Home Shoes. Enjoy life. Feet first.
Rosie here, plugging you into safety, service, and innovation. Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs. From troubleshooting to panel replacements, they leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all the residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com.
Incubus, live. Performing the album Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits. Saturday, July 5th, the Treasure Island Amphitheater. With special guest, Manchester Orchestra. On sale now at TICasino.com. Don't miss Incubus performing Morning View in its entirety, plus the hits.
Good production from their bench tonight. At the half, they had 29 points. They shot 11 of 15 combined and 4 of 6 from long range. Naz Reid's been a big part of that. 4 for 4, 2 for 2 from deep. He's gotten his shot back after he missed all 12 of his three-point attempts over the first 2 games.
Keep shooting. I mean, I don't really have a mentality. One day you can go 10 for 10, the next day you can go 0 for 13, whatever the case may be. But I mean, just try to be more consistent. I mean, I'm really never going to shy away from, offensively it's kind of one of my best attributes. So I'm not really too worried about that. It comes and goes at times. It's for everybody. Nobody's perfect. And I mean, I'm trying to be the best player that I can be. So.
Former 6th man of the year, Naz Reid. He can get awfully down on himself when he does miss some shots, but man, it is nice to see him. We'll get back to doing a lot of the things we saw throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, back into the mix for sure.
11-2 Thunder run to begin the third quarter, making things interesting. It's a 22-point game. Conley brings it up across the timeline. A nasty screen by Rabel that picked off Isaiah Joe. Now Ant with it on the right side, off the Rudy screen, looking to drive with the left hand. And the elbow out to McDaniel's corner. 3 on the way is online, and nothing but net. Jaden knocks down his first triple of the night. It's the 9th for the Timberwolves on the evening.
OKC has been up plus 14 in both of the first 2 third quarters of this series.
Shea tried to float it up over Rudy. It came up short. Rudy, tremendous defense there, and the rebound ends up out of bounds. It's Timberwolves basketball.
So the OKC Thunder were up 9 in this quarter already. Isaiah Joe's minutes so far, he was a plus 8 coming out of that last timeout. The only OKC player in a plus number. Jaden's 3 was huge.
Here's Rudy, took a low feed from Mike, who was still able to corral it right back to Mike. Now he's trapped out by midcourt, pressured by Isaiah Joe. 5 to shoot, got to make something happen. Rudy sets the screen. Mike on a run against Holmgren. Inside, hesitates, rises, missed the layup. Holmgren the rebound, outlet to J-Dub. Up the center of the floor, runs into Aiden, flares out to the wing, waits for help. Sees Isaiah Joe, left wing, who makes the catch, pump fakes. Now Dort, deep 3, left side. That one's offline, and Anthony Edwards has the rebound. 28% shooting for Dort in the postseason from beyond the arc. Tonight he's 1 for 3. Randall left angle. Chris Finch directing traffic. Julius dribbled it off his heel. Backtrack, scoops it up, feeds Ant up top. Runs into Isaiah Joe, now backs it out. Between the legs, sees a second defender come. He runs away from that, down the lane. Reverse layup, he got it. Oh, the smarts from Anthony Edwards on that play. Just ran away from the double, got baseline, and the reverse up and in. Isaiah Joe offline on the right wing 3. Wolves back up by 27. 7:30 left to go in the third quarter. Conley backdoor. Here's Ant to the rim. He lost it on the way up. It comes off the window. Rudy collects it and slams it home for 2. 81-52. The Wolves woke up during that timeout. J-Dub drifts to the right side. He's guarded by Conley. Holmgren comes to set the screen, then slips it. Williams steps back on a 3, but a whistle stops play and an offensive foul against J-Dub.
It's about time. He's been using that shoulder as a battering ram this whole series and has never been called for a foul until now.
It is about time. comes Isaiah Hartenstein. Chet Holmgren will sit.
Minnesota on a 7-0 run since the timeout, which is good to hear.
I think they got a little bit of a wake-up call during that timeout. I would imagine that some words were said by the head coach. The Wolves have come down with a little bit extra burst here out of that timeout. And nearly threw it behind Connell. Wolves being a little bit loose with their possession here. And a pull-up three. Oh, my goodness. Big-time shot by Anthony Edwards. He's up to 25. His 4th three of the night. 84-52. Here's Isaiah Joe turning the corner. Oh, got away with a carry. He lost it. Backtrack, scoops it up. Got manhandled and mugged by Anthony Edwards. A foul will be called, but the Wolves love their intensity right now. They're making life difficult, just like Oklahoma City did to them in OKC.
Except the Wolves are doing it better. This has been pretty overwhelming and pretty dominant by Minnesota in this game.
Inbound Shea. He's got it up top. He'll use a Hartenstein screen. He splits two defenders in the paint to the corner. J-Dub. Extra pass to the angle. Isaiah Joe steps into the three. It rattles out. And Julius Randle has the rebound. Thunder shooting 29% from deep. Randle picked up by SGA. Left of the lane. Spin move along the baseline. Floats it up. Off glass shot. No, but there was contact in there. John Goebel will send Julius Randle to the free throw line for 2 shots.
I got to tell you, Minnesota's won a lot of these 50-50 ball challenges, but they've also done a great job of flying around defensively. If there's been an open player on the perimeter, even though Minnesota's been scrambling trying to stop dribble penetration, collapsing in the painted area, if somebody ends up with a perimeter jump shot, somebody's coming to contest. Mike Conley has done a great job of doing that, and really everybody has.
11-0 run for the Wolves, and the first free throw being made by Julius Randle. He's got one more. Over the last 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So Isaiah Joe still on the floor. He is a +8.
He was coming out of last timeout,
Now maybe that's one reason why he's been starting the second half here. He's the only Thunder player to have a positive plus-minus. Second free throw good, 86-52. It's a 34-point lead. Wing left, J-Dub on a run to the rim, and he'll jam it through softly for 2. 6 gone, 6 left to play in the third. J-Dub now up to 13 points, the leading scorer for the Thunder. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, 12 points on 12 shot attempts and 4 turnovers. McDaniels trapped, baseline, spins, runs into Dort, ball pops free, it's out of bounds. It'll stay Minnesota basketball.
Boy, if anybody shows any weakness of handling the basketball with their back turned to defenders, there is an OKC Thunder player that's there to take advantage of it. Minnesota got lucky that time that Dort came and poked it out of Jaden's hands, but poked it out of bounds.
Mike will trigger in. Rudy's got it on the perimeter with 10 on the shot clock. Ant now has it against J-Dub. Bangs away with him from 18. Starts to back him down. Shot clock down to 4. Out of the three-point line, a double ensues. Up top, here's Jaden. Straightaway 3 is good. Second 3 of the quarter for Jaden McDaniels, and the Wolves' lead is back to 35 points, matching their largest advantage of the game. Here's Shea, baseline left, cut off by Randle. Backs it out, now tries again, flips up the shot, got bailed out with a foul call. He flailed himself to the floor. The crowd doesn't appreciate that, but he'll go to the free throw line for 2. 5.5 left to go.
Julius bailed him out. Julius leaned into him that time as he was trying to drive on the baseline. There was help coming. Rudy was coming to help him, but it's a good foul call. I mean, you hate the call because he's behind the backboard and didn't really have a chance to get up onto the rim. But
we mentioned SGA drew 12 fouls in Game 1, 9 more in Game 2. That was just his second foul drawn of the game here in Game 3.
Degno trying to find a line of combination that works, so brings Wiggins into the game for Isaiah Joe.
2 free throws good for SGA. He's 4 for 4 at the line. He's gotten to the free throw line 29 times in the first 2 games combined. Randle with it, right angle. He'll fire a 3 over Hartenstein to stroke it. First 3 of the night for Julius. Everyone's getting to the act. The Wolves are up to 13 made threes. The Thunder have 8.
Wolves have scored on 7 of their last 8 possessions since that last time out.
J-Dub's got it, backing it out against Ant. Here comes Hartenstein to set the screen. Ant beats that. Stays on J-Dub. Now Rudy comes to help and blocks the shot. First block of the night for Rudy. Came up big on that play. Rue, chance come down from target center. Here's Ann, an offensive foul is called. He shoved off to create space on Wiggins. He's going to get called for the foul. I'd like to see a replay of that one. So that's not the replay I want to see, although a Rudy block will.
There's a high five, too. Well, the push-off was minimal. Jordan pushed off more against the Utah Jazz.
I like that we jump right to 1998. Yeah. Shea, double clutch shot, no, at the elbow. SGA, 4 of 13 shooting, 14 points. Wolves have possession. They're up by 36 points. Randle in the paint. He'll put up the jumper and hit it again when the Wolves have gotten it going out of that timeout. 94-56. Julius Randle exhorts the crowd. He's walking all over the paint right now. Randle's got 19. It's a 20-4 run since the timeout. So the Thunder go 11-2 to begin the third quarter. The Wolves answer with a 20-4 burst. They now lead by 38. And we have 4:25 left to go in the third. We step aside in Game 3 with the Thunder up 2-0 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the NBA Finals.
In the NBA Finals, any moment can become unforgettable. Now is your chance to watch the next moment you'll remember forever.
Jordan open. Chicago with the lead.
Unforgettable awaits. The 2025 NBA Finals presented by YouTube TV begin June 5th on ABC.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner.
Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
And your local Toyota dealers bring us this look at the Eastern Conference Finals. The Indiana Pacers, the New York Knicks. We had Game 2 at the Garden last night. Knicks were hoping to even the series up at a game apiece after that improbable overtime victory from Indy in Game 1. But the Pacers, like they did in Game 1, were the better team in the final frame of Game 2. This time a 114-109 regulation win. Pascal Siakam led the way with 39 on 15 of 23 shooting. Tyrese Halliburton had 14 points, 11 dimes, 8 boards. So now, with the 2-0 lead in the series, the Pacers will be back home for Game 3 tomorrow night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. And Mikal Bridges and the Knicks insist they're not looking at the 2-0 series deficit in its entirety. Instead of looking at the entire mountain, just focused on the part that they have to climb.
Just taking one game at a time. I know it's 2-0, but, it's still a long series. 1-1, first series, 2-0, up 2-0 last series, now down 0-2. Just got to find different ways, to advance. So, but we just got to be better defensively as a team and, offensively, make the right play. And because sometimes if we don't, they get out in transition, and we got to get back in transition as well.
Game 3 from Indy tomorrow night, just after 7 o'clock. Back to Alan Horton.
All right, Cal, thank you very much. 4:25 left to go in the third. 94-56. This game feels, the way the energy in the building is, it feels like a tight, contested game. It doesn't feel like there's a 38-point Timberwolves lead right now. But, Jim, over the first 2 games, the Timberwolves scored 25 or less points in a quarter in 7 of the 8 quarters. They shot under 40% in 6 of the 8 quarters. They shot under 30% from 3 in 5 of the 8 quarters.
Yeah.
They're on pace to get up over those numbers in every single quarter so far. They have exploded offensively. What's been the biggest key?
Well, they've not turned it over. It's been huge, and we've not put them on the free throw line a ton of years. How about Minnesota has 6 turnovers? Ant's the only starter to have one. He's got 4, and then...
There's a turnover, almost. Hartenstein fired it inside. Wallace was well covered, and Thunder are fortunate to maintain possession.
Yeah, so Ant has 4, and Nikhil has the other 2. So two players have all 6 turnovers, but that's been the main thing. It's kept this team out of transition. Minnesota's defensive intensity has been huge here, and the shot making's been sublime.
Here's Wiggins off the Hartenstein screen. Baseline jumper. That's no good. Rebound tapped out. Lou Dort has got it. Then he got stripped by Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Nickeil's got it. Shea is off the floor right now with the Wolves up by 38. They have possession. Under 4 to go in the third. Nickeil pressured by Wallace. There was contact there as Wallace went for the steal. No call. Into the baseline double. Swings it up top. Here's Nickeil with it. Shot clock to 8. He'll dribble into a right angle 3 and hit it! Nickeil Alexander-Walker, his second triple of the night. He's got double figures. 97-56. It's a 41-point lead. A.J. Mitchell dribbles to the right elbow. The pull-up jumper missed it long. Rudy with the rebound and the outlet to Jaden McDaniels. Here's Jaden, got bumped, drives in, floats it up with the right hand and rolls off the rim. Hartenstein with a rebound. 5 on the floor right now. Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Hartenstein, Cason Wallace, Lou Dort, and A.J. Mitchell. First time in the series there's been no SGA or J-Dub on the floor, which gives you an idea of the deficit right now. And we may have seen the last for those two the whole game.
Perhaps.
3-ball good on the right wing. That one drops in for Lou Dort. 97-59. Wolves trying to climb to 2 games to 1. He pulls up on a deep right side 3 and drains it again. His 5th triple of the game. 5 of 7 from long range. 28 points to go along with 10 rebounds and 5 assists.
And in a hand fight right now with Lou Dort, who was in a hand fight with Rudy Gobert on the last possession. Something to watch for.
Down the lane, Mitchell drops it back. Hartenstein floats it up with the left hand. Shot no. Tallest guy on the floor, Rudy Gobert, yanks down the rebound. Rudy with 7 rebounds. 2:20 to go in the third. 100-59. Nas left side 3 on the way. That circles out. And a rebound to Hartenstein. Well, Ralph Lawler would give this win to the Wolves. First team to 100 is Minnesota. Tripped up, going to the free throw line is Cason Wallace.
I think a lot of times, momentum-wise, makes and takes, misses and makes are contagious. I think that when teams go through shooting slumps, especially at the free throw line and 3-point shooting,
you feel the energy in the building. Who's about to check in?
Exactly right.
Mr. Sparkplug himself, TJ Shannon.
Came in, scored 7 points right away when he first checked in.
So Cason Wallace to the free throw line. First time in the series. Hits the first one. He's now 4 for 6 in the postseason. He is in his 2nd year. He was drafted 10th overall by Dallas in the 23 draft. And that was that draft night trade that Dallas and OKC pulled off. OKC got Cason Wallace and picked up Davis Bertans. And Dallas got Derek Lively. Actually, that trade worked out pretty well for both sides.
Sure did. How about Minnesota going small now? I mean, OKC's fairly small. Kenrich Williams playing the 4, but TJ is Minnesota's power forward basically right now.
Yeah, with Rudy at the center spot. Here's Ant around the Rudy screen, pops on another 3, missed it off the back iron, and the rebound in Nickeil. Cross court, Dante sets himself, fires the 3 and hits again. Bounce back game for Dante DiVincenzo. 6 points, 2 of 2 shooting, but Dante's plus minus after a minus 27 in game 2, plus 21 tonight in those 10 minutes. 103-63. Timberwolves by 40. Dante drifts left on a dribble handoff. Anthony Edwards with it off the Rudy screen. Now Jay Will against 3 defenders. Ant launches the deep 2 and hits it. Oh, they had Wallace, they had Williams, they had Wiggins all over Ant, and still he hits the shot. A 30-piece for Anthony Edwards. A 31-11 run after the Thunder started the third quarter 11-2, and the Wolves called timeout. They have regrouped in a big, big way. 1:21 left to go in the third. They lead the Thunder in Game 3 by 42 points on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Wolves fans, this team is only getting better, and next season starts now.
Nas with it off to Ant. Drives in and hammers it through with the right hand.
Bring it with a full, half, or quarter season membership and get playoff priority, exclusive perks, and every can't-miss moment from Anthony Edwards.
It's Ant's time. He's taking over here in the fourth.
Don't wait. Head to Timberwolves.com/memberships to claim your seats.
Oh, the energy in the building right now is through the roof.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
105 points put up by this Timberwolves offense here in Game 3. On 57% shooting, 16 of 30 from deep, 53% from long range. That differential has been substantial tonight. Plus 21 points at the three-point line for Minnesota. And it's the Thunder who can't generate offense. 34% shooting, 9 of 29 from deep. You know, the Thunder do have the number one defense, but this Wolves defense was number one last year and top 10 this year. They gave up 50% shooting, and a lot of that was in transition and second chance points and points off of turnovers, but that was still too high a number for this Wolves defense to allow. And 3 balls good for Dylan Jones, a rookie out of Weber State.
I think you're right. I think that Daigneault has pulled the plug on this game. He doesn't want to take any chances getting any of these guys hurt.
Here's Dante on the move, took the feed from Nikhil, lobs it up high, and Rudy throws it down hard. That was beautifully set up. We've seen them run that play specifically to Dante, who then lobs it up to Rudy a number of times. Dante almost forces a turnover and does eventually. And now the Wolves throw it away at the other end. And the Thunder come away with the basketball. Dylan Jones leads a 2-on-1 off to Kenrich Williams, driving layup. It's good. 107-68, 34 seconds left to go in the third.
Looking at SGA's game log, he's only not scored 20 points this season, including the playoffs, in 3 games. As OKC steals the ball from Minnesota.
Layup for Kenrich Williams at the other end. Well, 2 of them have been in the postseason. So he only not scored 20 points once.
One was at Denver, and the one was that he scored 14 against Memphis, but that
was a blowout.
They won that game by a huge margin. It was 131-80, so he didn't need to play much more than he played.
Yeah. Nikhil will pull up left side 3. That comes up short. In fact, it's an air ball and goes right out of bounds.
But again, you and I were talking about this before the game. Minnesota, how do you stop this OKC Thunder team or slow them down? Try to take Shea out of the mix. Minnesota has the defenders that can do it.
3-quarter court shot at the buzzer by Aaron Wiggins offline, and we're through 3 here at Target Center. The Wolves have taken Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the MVP, out of the game. 14 points, 4 of 13 shooting, and 4 turnovers, a minus 32 in his 28 minutes on the floor. We head to the fourth next with the Wolves up 107-70 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
The NBA playoffs have arrived, and if you're not in the building, you're missing out.
Up top, and he'll take off down the lane. He'll throw it down with the right hand.
Feel the energy. Ride the run. Grab your playoff tickets right now at Timberwolves.com/playoffs.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Searching for your next night out? The Lynx are bringing the energy all season long.
Here's Collier going to work again in the paint.
Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit lynxbasketball.com/tickets and get to our house for the biggest moments.
At U.S. Bank, when they say they're in it with you, they mean it. Not just for the good stuff, the grand openings and celebrations, although those are pretty great, but for all the hard work it took to get there, the fine-tuning of goals, the managing of cash and workflows, and decision-making. They're in to help you through all of it, because together they're proving day in and day out that there is nothing as powerful as the power of us. Visit usbank.com to get started today. Equal housing lender, member FDIC, copyright 2024 U.S. Bank.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go a walk in the park with the new Ford Explorer. Become the MVP of the work site with the unrivaled performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America. Or discover what it really means to adventure in the great outdoors with the new Bronco Sport. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait. Get behind the wheel of a new Ford today. Based on calendar year total sales.
You're listening to the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Minutes up on the scoreboard. Fourth and final quarter about to get underway. The Wolves have made this a series. 107-70. They lead the Thunder by 37 points. OKC started the third quarter on an 11-2 run. That made it 74-52, so the Thunder were within 22 points, but the Wolves called a timeout, and they regrouped in a big way. They go 33-18 over the final 9 minutes of that third quarter. They led by as many as 42. They currently have a 37-point lead to begin the fourth quarter.
Look at Crunch.
Your man Crunch is being repelled, not down, but up, all the way to the rafters, and he's got a long sign, playoff loud, draped from his backside.
That is commitment right there.
He's going all the way up to the rafters. He's up on the catwalk. There's about 9 people making sure he does not.
Right.
It makes that trip safe. That's the hardest part, I think. Just getting onto the catwalk.
My goodness. That's commitment.
Thunder left to right. Kenrich Williams, Isaiah Joe, A.J. Mitchell's out there. Jalen Williams, the J. Will. And then Aaron Wiggins is the other. And Kenrich Williams throws it away across the baseline. The turnover on the Thunder is their 14th of the game. The Wolves have committed 8.
You're too young to remember this because when the Wolves played the Houston Rockets in their first playoff series in the franchise history, Jesse the Body propelled from the rafters down to the floor and flexed on Charles Barkley.
I like that. Yeah. Here's T.J. Shannon across the lane, went up for the shot, got fouled. That's a more positive outcome than when Rocky came down from the Denver Nuggets rafters and passed out on the way down.
Oh, I didn't.
He was a limp figure when he came down to the floor. Rocky has since recovered and has been one of the best mascots in the NBA.
Flourished.
Yeah, flourished.
Yeah.
He's really thrived since. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that was the story. I think it was. There's video of that too. It's just not what you want to see. 107-70. They said TJ was not in the act of shooting, so no free throws there. And the Wolves missed the shot off the inbound. Here's a drive by Mitchell. Now Wiggins sets up Jay Will up top, and the big man fires a 3. That's off iron. The rebound tapped out of bounds by A.J. Mitchell. It'll be Timberwolves basketball. So the Wolves have a 5 on the floor of Nikhil and Dante in the backcourt. They've got TJ Shannon at the 3, Julius at the 4, Nas at the 5.
Have we seen the last of Anthony Edwards?
They took a rebound away from him, so he's got 30 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. We might have. Randall with it against Aaron Wiggins to the free throw line. Step back, 17-footer. Did he call glass? I thought I heard something, but I don't know if that's what he said.
He banked it off the glass from straight on from the top of the key.
21 points for Julius Randle. Randle defending A.J. Mitchell here. Down the corner it goes to Wiggins. The 3 ball's offline, and the Wolves have the rebound. You know, it's interesting in a postseason series. I just find it fascinating how much you can read into one particular game. Randle fires a deep 3. That's a 30-footer straight away, and knocking down his second triple of the night. Randle is back, and back in a big way. Jay Will on the attack, around his back, niffly to A.J. Mitchell, floats it up and in. But, you know, how much you can glean from statistics over 1 game, 2 games. 7 games is not a big sample size, and I'm always curious how much you can read into certain numbers. And a lot of the numbers weren't good for Minnesota.
Right.
Especially like minutes from Nas and Julius. They had not been good together, minus 24 in 30 minutes. But they've been... all those numbers have been thrown out the book here in Game 2.
Big time.
Randle right wing 3, no.
And that's why Chris Finch stays tried and true to what he believes in and he stuck with it here, and it's paid dividends.
And you mentioned earlier, like some of the pundits talking about how the Wolves are out. I mean, they have to come up with these grandiose opinions based on a very small sample of games, and this series is not over yet. Now, had it gone 3-0, no NBA team in NBA history has come back from an 0-3 deficit. TJ Shannon, a corner three. He hits.
But don't pull the plug on a patient that's still alive.
So very well said.
I mean, that's what they were doing.
Randall's going to check out here at the 9:02 mark. Standing ovation for Julius. And Jalen Clark comes into the game.
Julius has become a beloved figure here in this Timberwolves fan base. Big time.
His play since, turned around the season in Phoenix. March the 1st. Wolves went 17-4 down the stretch. They're about to go 9-4 since that mark in the postseason. Isaiah Joe tries a right side three. Missed it. Jalen Clark has the rebound. Clark and TJ Shannon on the floor together with Nikhil, Nas, and Dante. 115-75. The Wolves lead the Thunder in Game 3 by 40. Nas isolated left side. Wiggins. Now Nas, a bounce pass to Nikhil. Driving layup. No, but Nikhil sticks with it. Gets the rebound and puts it back up and in. That's a dozen off the bench for Nikhil. It's a dozen for TJ Shannon. 10 for Nas Reed and 6 for Dante DiVincenzo. In the paint, double clutching is A.J. Mitchell. He gets the fall-away shot to drop. Dante commits the foul. Free throw coming up for A.J. Mitchell.
That's the second personal foul. Second team foul.
Game 4 coming up Monday night here at Target Center. We mentioned a huge 5 nights of basketball at Target Center with the Lynx come from behind win last night. We'll include the Twins walk-off win today, the Wolves demolition of OKC tonight. And then Monday night it'll be Game 4. Tuesday night the Lynx have a home game against the Seattle Storm. There's Nikhil down the lane out to Shannon. Can he hit another one? It's offline. Clark kept the rebound alive, but Isaiah Joe controls up the center floor with a waist-handed right-handed dribble. Now Kenrich Williams, quick crossover on Nas. Goes up and Reed recovers and blocks the shot. Not on my watch. Here's Nikhil on the push. Off the Shannon. He'll attack the defense. He'll float it up and in. He got the foul. He bumps into Isaiah Joe. He's screaming to the fans. He flexes for Anthony Edwards, who pops off the bench to meet him along the baseline. TJ Shannon may have just assured himself a spot in the rotation going forward.
I hope so. He's the kind of player that makes a difference. He's got 14 in the game, has a chance to add to it with an and-one opportunity here at the free throw line.
And Rob Dillingham will get an opportunity here with 7:50 left to play.
Nikhil's getting a really nice ovation here, well-deserved.
12 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Last check, Nikhil was a plus 18. Check that, plus 15. Free throw is good for TJ Shannon. The points have been coming fast and furious for the rookie. He's got 15 points in 10 minutes of play. Deep 3 left side. Jalen Williams missed that one. And the Wolves will have possession with 7:41 left to play. And a timeout has been called. 7:41 left to go in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves can see the finish line. They are up by 42 points, 120-78. You're listening to Minnesota Timberwolves basketball on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Yeah. Hey, look, a W is a W. And thanks to our FVP batteries in the lineup, we're playing up to our potential. I mean, you saw it out there today. What I'm loving about this FVP battery right now is the consistency. Day in, day out. I mean, no drama. Great work ethic with tremendous upside. I said this before. You gotta be a self-starter in this league. That's why FVP is my MVP. Automotive batteries from FVPparts.com. You gotta reach for what works.
Next question.
Hey, Timberwolves fans, ready to score big with Wolves gear without breaking the bank? Let me introduce you to Sezzle and the Pay in 4 program. With Sezzle, you can split your payments into 4 easy, interest-free installments on all your Wolves purchases. From jerseys and hoodies to courtside seats, Sezzle has got you covered. Wherever you shop, however you rep the Wolves. Download the Sezzle app and get started today. Sezzle, the official jersey patch sponsor of the Timberwolves. Subject to approval, see terms and conditions at Sezzle.com.
Chanhassen Dinner Theaters brings you its most popular show of all time, Grease. You'll hear all your favorite hits from the Broadway musical and the movie. Join the whole gang at Rydell High. We'll sing, we'll dance, we'll bring you back to high school life in the 50s. Poodle skirts, bobby socks, the soda shop, and drive-in movies. Grease, it'll rock your socks off. Order your tickets today. Visit chanhassendt.com.
Hey Wolves fans, it's Rosie from Standard Heating and Air Conditioning, your home comfort MVPs since 1930. Just like the Timberwolves bring the heat on the court, we keep your home in perfect condition all year long. We're proud to sponsor the Timberwolves this season. Let's go Wolves! Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Call or visit standardheating.com since 1930.
Up by 42 with 7:41 left to go in Game 3. Trying to get their first win in this series. And if they can hold on for the final 7:41, it would be 2-1 going to a Game 4 on Monday night. Wolves fans, tonight has shown you this squad is built different. You don't want to miss what's next. Bring it next season with a full half or quarter season membership and be there for every can't-miss moment from Anthony Edwards. Seasons won't last. Lock in yours now at Timberwolves.com/memberships. That's Timberwolves.com/memberships. Josh Minot, Leonard Miller into the game with T.J. Shannon, Rob Dillingham, and the fifth on the floor is Jalen Clark. Wolves have answered the bell in a big way. I mean, for all intents and purposes, their season was on the line here tonight. You can't fall behind 3-0. 100%. Not to this team. And they have answered it in a big way. And we've now got ourselves a series. Wolves have it right to left. T.J. Shannon, baseline drive. Got knocked out of bounds by Kenrich Williams. Still able to get the feed out to Minot. His left corner three rims off. Isaiah Joe with the rebound. Still a mountain of time left. 7:15 and counting. Joe off a high screen by Jay Will. Drives in, got it knocked away. Minot got a piece of that. It comes off the window. T.J. Shannon controls. Wing left, Minot on the attack. Bumps into Dylan Jones, and the contact was enough to warrant a whistle from John Goebel.
I mean, this has been so much fun. The game itself through the body of the first three quarters, but now here in the fourth quarter, we get a treat by seeing our young players play. I mean, Terrence Shannon has been amazing. But I'm looking forward to seeing Rob Dillingham in this stint. Also, Josh Minot. This is great.
Minot in the corner against Jay Will. Up top to Leonard Miller. Right side, T.J. Shannon. 15 points in 11 minutes of play. Shot clock is under 10. Minot, left side, takes a run into the paint, steps through. Up with the right hand. It rolled off the rim, and Jay Will's got the rebound, and then he stepped on the end line. That'll be a turnover, and it'll be Timberwolves basketball. Timberwolves were 2-0 in the postseason when they've seen John Goebel, the crew chief. They're about to go to 3-0. They were 1-0 with Josh Tiven, and they had yet to see Curtis Blair. Dillingham with it, left corner. Off the inbound, sets up Minot. 18 to shoot. Minot off the screen by Miller. Tried to drop it back inside to Lenny, and it got deflected. Turned over, Dylan Jones on the run. A loose handle for him. Still able to squeeze off a shot, but way too strong off the window. The Wolves control the rebound. There's Rob on the run. Out to the nail. Now back to Minot. Wide open left angle three on the way. Missed it long, and the rebound comes down to Ousmane Dieng. Dieng takes a run on Minot. Baseline right. Kicks to the opposite corner. Kenrich Williams will jump into a three. No. Dylan Jones offensive rebound. And the putback is there. But Dylan Jones has kind of got a frame that you can see really fitting in to some of the other guys, like a Lou Dort, like a Cason Wallace. Sure. This guy might be next in line behind those guys in a few seasons. Here's Leonard Miller, run off the three-point line, drives in, layup is good.
Leonard Mitchell, Leonard Miller's one of those guys that he's kind of forgotten about, but when he goes down to the G League to play, he really plays well.
Leonard's in his second season, came out of the G League Ignite. A.J. Mitchell a drive, got by Miller on that one, but Miller with a good contest from behind. And Shannon pulls down the rebound. TJ on the move in the front court. Drops it off for Miller, who drives down the paint. The lefty finish off the window is good. 124-80. Wolves are up by 44. Wolves picked up Leonard Miller in the second round, the number 33 overall pick during the 23 draft. One thing we found out in this NBA, today's NBA, you better have some young talent in your pipeline, in your system, to be able to replace some of the guys as Clark drives baseline and scores on a much larger Jay Will.
When they outgrow their contract, you mean?
Yeah, when teams get really expensive, and a lot of teams are running into that. OKC is well suited for that, to bring in some young talent. I think the Wolves are right there with OKC in that regard, with some of the guys we've seen play here tonight. Our final media timeout of the game, 5:06 to go in the fourth. Timberwolves 126, OKC 82 on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
When it comes to watching the game, it's always nice to sit and savor a delicious snack. And Jack Link's protein snacks always hits the shot. Jack Link's beef jerky is made with 100% beef that's simply seasoned and hardwood smoked to deliver a mouth-watering, flavorful, good source of protein, convenient snack. Jack Link's, the official protein snack of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Hello, this is Jan at Toyota.
Hi, Jan. Is now a good time to get a new Toyota?
It is. We like to say your summer starts here at your Toyota dealer. Now through June 2nd, we have a great selection of Camrys, Corollas, Tundras, and more.
Your summer starts here. I'm a pet sitter, and business is way up as people enjoy their new Toyotas.
Stop, Sebastian. Goldie is not dinner.
Your summer starts here.
Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details.
Toyota, let's go places.
Cal Soderquist with one final look at the Eastern Conference Finals, courtesy of your local Toyota dealers. Visit Toyota.com today. Let's go places. That series is a 2-0 lead for the Indiana Pacers. They captured both games at the Garden, and the series will now shift to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for Game 3 coming up tomorrow night. Tip-off just after 7 o'clock. Of course, the improbable fourth quarter comeback and overtime victory in Game 1. Game 2 was a 114-109 result for Indy. And head coach Rick Carlisle, who has called a masterful first two games, says his team cannot assume playing back home will make things any easier.
There are a lot of traps here. You cannot assume going home is going to be easier. It never is. Each game, as you ascend in a playoff series, becomes harder. And New York is, they've got an amazing fighting spirit. And so we're going to have to keep concentrating on our process, making it hard on them, trying to keep tempo in the game. We lost the overall rebounding battle, but we didn't get hurt nearly as bad on the offensive boards. And that's something we got to continue to focus on.
How about some props for Rick Carlisle? Of course, part of one of the more memorable underdog triumphs in the NBA Finals, that Dallas Mavericks team that upset LeBron's Heat. And now he's 2 wins away from getting this Pacers team to the NBA Finals as well. Game 3 tomorrow night from Indy, just after 7. Back to Alan and Jim.
5:06 left to go in the fourth, Cal. 126-82 is the score. Timberwolves lead the Thunder here in Game 3 by 44 points. Well, we have yet to have a close game in this series, although the first two games in OKC were close for a good portion of the game.
Sure.
And the Wolves were within striking distance in Game 1.
Yeah.
We're down 9 in the fourth quarter. But sometimes it's a feeling out process, and eventually we're going to get one of these tight games.
Yeah,
kind of like maybe New York and Indiana have had their first two games.
I'm thinking 2-2 after we leave here, Minnesota, and then we're going to have. I think it's going to be 7 games, and I think it's going to be an exciting 7th game. Anybody's going to be able to win that one. I think it's going to be fascinating. This is great.
Jay Will, straightaway 3, off glass, off back iron. Jalen Clark shields off Kenrich Williams for the rebound. Wolves had it, and then Kenrich Williams fouls Jalen Clark. Remember, it was Kenrich Williams who got tangled up with Rudy Gobert a few years ago.
Yeah.
Led to a flagrant foul 2 on Rudy.
Ejected from the game.
And then there was also a This was more inadvertent than anything, but Jaden McDaniels, an elbow, caught J-Dub in the eye, fractured his orbital bone. Fractured orbital bone only kept J-Dub out for 4 games. Talk about toughness. Fractured orbital bone? How long am I out for that? I'm out for at least 6 weeks. Maybe longer. On a drive, A.J. Mitchell floats it up and in over Luka Garza, who is checked in. So Garza and Miller, the bigs. Minot, Dillingham, and Clark out there. Dillingham goes inside and pops up off the floor with that athleticism and draws a foul. He'll go to the free throw line for 2 shots. Timberwolves basketball tonight brought to you in part by U.S. Bank, proud to be the official bank of the Timberwolves. And by Treasure Island Resort Casino. Book your stay now at TICasino.com. Visit the island, Treasure Island Resort Casino. First free throw good for Rob Dillingham, the rookie out of the University of Kentucky. 49 games for Rob. Averaged 11 minutes per. He did have a 21-game stretch there when Dante DiVincenzo was out, where he was a part of the rotation. Rob, beautiful feed inside. Garza the lay-in. Nifty find in traffic for Rob. And so Rob was one of those guys, along with Jalen Clark and TJ Shannon, who were part of the rotation during that January, February, with Dante and Julius and Rudy with a number of injuries. And those guys were able to help keep the ship headed and keep the train on the tracks. Let's use that reference.
Certainly were. Jalen Clark became kind of a folk hero at that time, the way he was playing. And Terrence Shannon did too.
Rob into the paint, out to Leonard Miller at the left angle. He put it on the deck and traveled. Moved a little too quickly. Shuffled the feet before the ball hit the floor. Turnover on Minnesota. Their 10th of the game. You know,
one of the predictions I made at the beginning of the season when I was on John Krasinski's podcast is I thought that Rob Dillingham would be a rotation player once All-Star break came, and it never came to pass. And Finchie just never really trusted Rob. Did you think that? Did you think he was going to be a rotation player by the time All-Star game hit?
Yeah, I didn't have a thought on that. I didn't know. I can't say that I saw any of his games in college.
Just thought need.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, ideally, yes. It's a fit that he brings a unique skill set to this team.
He's such a unique player because he plays with tempo and he's got great athleticism and he is small, but so is Mike. And Mike's durability and professionalism has been huge for this team. And what Mike Conley's been able to do in these 2 years.
Luka left side three is good. The crowd favorite, Luka Garza.
He always produces, doesn't he? Luka always comes in and makes things happen.
A.J. Mitchell a drive on Garza, floats it up with left hand. That drops in for 2. There's 2:45 left to go in the fourth. 132-90. There's Rob around the Garza screen. Floater from the free throw line. In and out, no. The rebound to Dylan Jones. Thunder from left to right here on the push. Jones on the attack with a right-handed dribble. Drops it back out. Ousmane Dieng. That 3 off the window and in. 32% the regular season from beyond the arc. Dillingham brings it up off the Garza screen. Sets up Leonard Miller up top. And that 3 ball is in. Off the back iron and through. That is the 20th made 3 of the night. What did I say before the game about 3-point shooting? Do you recall? Were you listening?
You were saying that we had 21 in that first game, and we have not shot it well since then.
But as far as what I thought would happen tonight, I thought the 3-point shots would fall tonight.
Well, that's right. You did say that.
20 of 40.
Yeah, it was bound to happen at some point.
Oh, you can't take it away from my prediction?
No, I love that you predicted it. You were clairvoyant.
Regression of the mean?
You
I don't get credit for it?
You rubbed your temples and you saw the future. So, yes.
It was bound to happen at some point. 137-95. Kenrich Williams on the attack from the left wing. Gets into the paint. And A.J. Mitchell fires a right wing 3. No. Slam follow missed by Dieng. Here's Leonard Miller on the run. Down the lane between 2 defenders. Missed the shot. Rebound. Scooped up by Leonard Miller. Comes off the floor. Has the ball right in his hand. Stands up and lays it in for 2.
I'll tell you what. These guys didn't let go of the rope, did they? I mean, they kept on building on this lead.
Yeah.
They played well.
Ousmane Dieng, he's got it left side with 1:11 left to play. Pop on a 3, and he hits that one. Did not go off glass. more traditional-like from Ousmane Dieng. Here's Rob down the lane, swings it out to Leonard Miller. Now Luka with it, baseline, spins on Jay Will to the baseline. Now Faves on the jumper, got it. He got in rhythm on that one. 5 for Luka Garza.
This is a startling score.
It really is.
I mean, 141 to 98. You just did not expect it
in a Western Conference Finals game. Dylan Jones, a right side three that puts OKC into triple digits.
These bench guys are letting it fly, by the way.
And a baseline drive and good for Leonard Miller. Wolves are up by 42. If you're wondering, the largest postseason win for the Wolves, 45. That came last year against the Denver Nuggets, and I'm going to guess that was Game 6 here on the home floor. Jay Will, a 3-ball. No, 19 seconds left. The Wolves will just dribble this one out, and it'll be the second biggest win in franchise history in the postseason. Jalen Clark into the front court. Shot clock under, game clock under 10, now under 5. And Jalen Clark will just dribble this one out. The horn sounds in Game 3, and the Wolves have come off the mat with a dominant performance, 143 to 101. They now trail the Thunder in the Western Conference Finals 2-1. Anthony Edwards, a monster night, 30 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and he did all that in 30 minutes of play. Second largest margin of victory in a postseason game in franchise history, 42 points. Dominant win for the Wolves. They got a lot of big performances. They had 7 players in double figures. Naz Reid was one of them. And I believe Naz Reid is going to join us here on the post-game show. Bench tonight, 10 points, 8 rebounds, couple of assists. Got his 3-ball going. And the Wolves come away with a 143 to 101 victory here tonight in Game 3. Now trail the Thunder 2-1. Naz, how did that one feel tonight?
It felt like us.
Yeah, it looked like you guys.
Every bit of it felt like us, and obviously it was a big kudos to the crowd, for getting out there and supporting us. It was huge. It was huge.
Was there a different feeling heading into tonight than maybe the first 2 games in OKC?
Yeah, I mean, as far as atmosphere, but I think we played our game. We had a complete game as a team.
How did it feel to break the seal there and get that first 3 to fall?
Oh man, it's crazy. I don't think I've been 0 for 12 in a long time. So it felt good. Just getting started, obviously. And got a lot more ahead of us and a lot more ahead of me to go. So.
Naz, they started the second half on an 11-2 run and got to within 22. You guys called a timeout. What was kind of said in that huddle? Because you guys basically put the game away from that huddle on.
Yeah, coach got on us. We kind of figured, they were going to have a big third quarter or start anyway, and we kind of shut that water off. But we can't have third quarters like that, especially to a great team like that. So.
Hey, Naz, what do you have to say about the punditry? I don't know if you watch or read social media or see what people say. Stephen A. Smith throwing dirt on the coffin of the Minnesota Timberwolves, trying to pull the plug on the patient, so to speak. What do you have to say about that?
Man, everybody try to do that to us, man. Don't count us out. Like I said earlier in the media, man, I believe in this team. I believe in myself. It takes a lot to come back from adversity, 0-2, whatever the case may be. Obviously, we made it a series again. But, I never thought it was over. We never thought it was over. And I knew that from, the atmosphere this morning. We all were, excited, happy to be in the gym and, happy to be there, support each other, watch film. Everybody got up and was super hyped. So it was a great feeling. And like I said, I had no doubt in my mind, like I said, especially with the crowd as well, too. So I had no doubt in my mind he was going to play like this today. And now we got to carry over to Monday.
Hey, Naz, I think the other thing, everybody loves a great Naz Reid moment here at Target Center. But how about the TJ Shannon moment when he came in the game?
Yeah, TJ is a pro, man. He's a pro, man. And it's crazy. He's going to get to the spots and get to where he wants to get downhill. And, man, it's what I would say is how ready he was. I remember those moments where I had to kind of stay ready, and he was ready. And I preach that to him all the time. We talk all the time about it. And he was ready today, and that just goes to his character, and how much work that he puts in.
Who's his PD coach? We got to give that guy some credit on the air here.
It's me, man. I'm working with TJ all the time. But nah, I'm joking. C. Hines is his coach.
C. Hines, come on, baby.
Hey, Nas, how do you bottle this performance and have the same approach to Game 4 coming up Monday night?
Just having the mentality that it's not over. I mean, just because you won one game, obviously they're up 2-1, but you won one game, you got to come out lackadaisical next game. That's not how it works. Every game has to be like today. And everybody has to put their best foot forward and, compete. Shots might fall, shots might not fall, but competing is the overall, aspect of the game. And you got to help yourself win. Help your teammates, help yourself win.
You guys got shots to fall tonight. 20 of 40 from beyond the arc. Good to see that 3-ball shot fall.
Yes, sir. Finally.
All up and down the lineup. Nas, appreciate the visit. Great game, and we'll see you on Monday night.
Great job, Nas.
All right, Nas Reed along with us here after a 143-101 victory over the Thunder. Trailing OKC 2-1. Postgame show begins next on the Minnesota Timberwolves Radio Network.
Looking for a next-level way to bring your crew together? A Minnesota Lynx game is the perfect spot for your group. Whether it's a work outing, youth team night, birthday bash, or celebration, groups get discounted tickets, block seating, and a shout-out on the big screen, plus access to exclusive fan experiences like high-fiving the team, watching warm-ups, or even playing on the Lynx court. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Lock in your group now at lynxbasketball.com/groups and make memories that last way past the final buzzer.
As a business owner, you understand the importance of protecting your reputation, workplace, employees, and financial assets. Our team is ready to help yours by creating a custom lineup of industry-specific coverages and risk management service to help you stay at the top of your game. Contact your local Federated representative for more information today. Federated Insurance. It's our business to protect yours. Rated A+ Superior by AM Best Company.
This is the Federated Insurance Postgame Show on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Jay Will against 3 defenders. Ant launches the deep 2 and hits it. Oh, they had Wallace, they had Williams, they had Wiggins all over Ant, and still he hits the shot. A 30-piece for Anthony Edwards. A 31-11 run after the Thunder started the third quarter 11-2 and the Wolves called timeout. They have regrouped in a big way. Yeah, that was a key stretch in this game when the Wolves, their lead got cut to 22. Then they outscored the Thunder to end that third quarter by a final run of 33-18. They led by as many as 42 in that stretch, finished that third quarter up by 37, and that was when Mark Daigneault pulled the plug on this one. 143-101, the Wolves shoot 57%. They knocked down 20 of 40 from deep. They got 50 rebounds tonight, plus 19 in that category. They were plus 11 in assists tonight, 30 assists on 55 made field goals, only 10 turnovers. Wolves completely turned it around tonight, Jim. Just an absolutely dominating performance offensively and defensively. And now, like I asked Nas, I think the biggest key is how do you duplicate it?
Yeah, you got to figure out a way to bring the same energy. I mean, just the defensive toughness they brought from the very start of the game. You know, think about that Ant. Remember the Ant steal at center court where he just jumped?
He just blitzed. And Case and Wallace,
I think it was Lou Dort. It was Lou Dort. He jumped on Lou Dort and got that steal and the dunk, and it just started and perpetuated a defensive intensity that I think just knocked OKC back on their heels. And then, Nas did give a nod to the crowd here at Target Center. This place has become a hard place to play in.
Yep, no doubt about it.
And they booed Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I don't think he was ready for that. Because I think it's such a random thing to have happen. I mean, he's been a foul drawer his whole career, and for some reason this fan base is so sophisticated. They caught on to the fact that he's kind of a foul merchant, and they didn't like it, and they made it known.
14 points for the MVP on 4 of 13 shooting. He had 4 turnovers. He was a minus 32 in his 28 minutes. We'll take a timeout here on the Federated Insurance postgame show. Head coach Chris Finch, his postgame press conference is next on the Timberwolves Radio Network.
Rosie here, plugging you into safety, service, and innovation. Edison Electric has been serving the Minneapolis and St. Paul area since 2007 and specializes in residential service, meaning they help you with all your home's electrical needs. From troubleshooting to panel replacements, they leave your home safer than when they arrived and provide 5-star service every time. Go to calledison.com for upfront pricing on all the residential electrical services in Minneapolis. That's calledison.com.
At Target, we're home court advantage for the hometown sports fans. And with the Timberwolves season in full gear, we're here to help you gear up and make your game day prep a slam dunk. Hear that? That's what you call a buzzer-beating three-pointer for the win. Time to dish up your famous nachos or put a full-court press on some jalapeno poppers. Then serve up some sweet desserts to celebrate the W. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Hey, Wolves fans, listen up. Step up your shoe game this season with Trade Home Shoes, your Minnesota-based, employee-owned retailer. Trade Home Shoes has on-trend footwear for the entire family. Brands like New Balance, Hoka, On, Birkenstock, Rival Shoes, and more. With over a century of experience in 130 locations nationwide, Trade Home Shoes is where generations